Oh,
Someone
snap.
salty?
Yes.
No, I'd actually stick around for the incoming shit show, but I'm probably going to be going to see some family tomorrow.
All right, Howie.
Take care, Alex.
Bye, Ollie.
Sleep well. Sleep well.
All right,
Who's
later,
this
guys.
salty person?
I don't know. He's kind of like a coward, and he's also a dishonest prick.
Oh, snap.
And he's also someone who surprisingly took an odd particular time to choose to say, okay, it's fuck John Kelly month.
Oh, snap.
Got perpetually butthurt ever since then. Especially
Oh,
after
you
a
seem
certain-
pretty salty, John.
So you're saying the salty person is you, yeah? Because that's all I'm
Yes,
hearing
that's-
now is salt.
That's exactly what I'm saying. 'Cause,
John,
I'm the one who has
hold
a
on,
war history.
Leave this to me,
I'm the
Max.
one who has a war history in Iraq, and it gets triggered whenever I point out that the service that they provided wasn't really all that great in the first place.
John.
Dude,
John.
do you even know, like, here's the thing.
Oh, man.
I myself say that I don't give a shit about being a soldier. I don't get pride out
Why
of
do you
it
keep
or
on
anything
bragging
like
about
that.
it?
I don't.
Yes, you do.
Show me one time when I bragged about it. Go ahead. Oh, that's right, you can't.
What about the time you went to Roguestar and said, I'm going to show off my medals? This is what military vets do.
Show.
I don't have to. You know it as well as I do. That was a thing.
So you don't have to show proof?
Snap.
So you didn't call it Roguestar for his lack of military credentials? I thought you want to mark that one's a badge of honor.
I don't
No shit,
remember
dude.
that.
I'm glad you actually did that because Roguestar's a piece of shit. We can
I don't
both agree on
remember
that.
that, though, honestly. But if you could prove it to me, I will gladly admit it.
You don't remember what your own words of what you said?
Do you know how many things I've said, dude? I'm not like you. I'm not so autistic. I can remember every little thing I've said.
All right. We don't have to go into your memory problems. We'll just leave that one be.
Come on, you know I smoke a lot of weed.
Well, I know Cannabis Kurtz also smokes a lot of weed, but it hasn't done him any favors.
Okay, and that has what to do with me?
You're kind of like similar breeds of animal.
Isn't that a fallacy? Hold on. John, isn't that a fallacy? One of those things.
Number 7, posting memes instead of making an argument.
No, not a micro fallacy. Not a micro fallacy. I'm talking about a legitimate fallacy.
Oh, I'll report to the fallacy police.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you report yourself to yourself, but have fun there.
Nobody cares about this bullshit. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Doing well, actually. Doing real well,
Cool.
actually.
I think the last time we spoke was, aside from Twitter slap fights, was on a stream with Sarge. You were there. We were on good terms at that point. What happened since then? Like, give me a basic rundown based on your limited memory, which you can't seem to collect altogether.
John, you seem to think I have a raging hate boner for you.
Well, go on. Tell me, if you don't have a raging hate boner for me, tell me about all the good times you've been having.
John, you are so salty.
John, I think it's funny to poke you because you are hilarious. That's about it. And you're the easiest person to get riled up, which is why I always use the lowest rent.
Tell me your stories. Go ahead. Tell me one.
Oh my
I don't
god.
need to tell you any stories, John.
This was a fun conversation then.
John.
It is.
John, do you remember when I was fucking with Zan? Like, and he was really fucking salty? You're like 4 times the amount right now. You have high blood pressure.
When's the last time you hugged your mother, John? No, that's a legitimate question. Like, what is so fun?
Question. I think the better question is, when the last time did she hug you, John? It's not whether he hugged her.
I think the nature of this question strikes of one who has a lot of maternal problems.
Fuck. You are the most retardedly pretentious person. I swear to God, this is why it's fun to fuck with you. You realize that, right? That's why we fuck with you, because you honestly can't say or do anything to actually upset or like hurt me anymore. Whenever
we're
I
off
first...
air. No one cares about this conversation.
Yeah, but Batman could be recording
No. Here's the thing. The reason you were sent that link Whenever you so hard tried to ruin the hangout, the reason you were sent the proper hangout link is because they wanted to see you come in here and be salty at me. That's
Why do you think I
legitimately
didn't come
why you're
on?
here.
There was no point in me coming on. It was an
Why
obvious
are you
trap.
on then? That's why you were sent that link. You're a retard. You're not listening to what I'm
For
saying.
fun. It's for fun. Sometimes people like to have fun.
No, John. I have fun
You don't like
poking
to-
you.
Wait,
No,
wait,
I
you
like
don't like
to
to
have
have
fun.
fun? What's wrong with you? Why are you such a person who takes all this internet bullshit so seriously?
John.
Why are you dodging the question?
Not dodging any question. You're rewriting the
Why don't you just
question.
answer a simple question? Why don't you like to have fun?
Why are you so salty?
I mean, I ask you how you're doing, what's up, how's life been. You're like, I don't have anything to say, John. I just like poking you. Like, what kind of response is that? Why can't you have a normal conversation like a human being with?
I actually answered those questions. Are you
Okay.
listening, or is your autism getting in the? Yeah,
I've
I
been
said
listening.
I'm having.
Okay, then refresh my memory for me. Just do it one more time. Go ahead.
I said I'm doing quite fine. Actually, things are really great.
Okay, go into detail. Tell me what you've been up to with your life. Like, what new adventures have been happening?
Why would that matter?
Because
John, you're
that's how
not. You're
humans
not part
talk.
of my social
Like,
circle.
come on, you tell me a story. You tell me a story, and I'll tell you a story.
Not really interested in telling stories right now, John.
Well, you're boring.
Okay.
This is just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
John,
Max,
do you need a
what's been kicking?
bedtime story? John, do you need a bedtime story?
I don't need a bedtime story, but you got something to say, go for it.
I have nothing to say, man.
There's nothing to say.
This is boring.
Okay.
So, what's going on with the JJ situation? Because, like, I'm getting, like, flack left and right, and I gotta be honest, I really don't give a shit about this whole thing. I
You
haven't
guys
had a
weren't
bad
joking.
experience.
He legitimately does have something for JJ. Wasn't even remotely
okay, here's the
mentioned.
thing.
He just
Here's
came
the
out of
thing.
nowhere
Here's the
with
thing.
it. Why
Here's
are
the
you
thing.
so
I
Excuse
always
me, weren't you the one swatting the nest on this whole thing? You seemed to be really into it a couple of days ago, and now what are you
Okay,
whining
here's the-
about?
I don't, like...
You got what
Okay,
you
here's the
wanted.
thing with
the
this
thing.
JJ situation,
But no,
right? You got
you're
guys
wrong
like
because
Fox,
no,
you got guys like...
But no, you're wrong.
Everyone and everything is problematic.
Everything is racist.
Everything is
Everything is-
racist.
But no,
everything is sexist, and you
John,
have to point it all out.
John, you're wrong.
John, you're totally a part of the establishment, aren't you?
Yes. I'm actually being paid by Nick Dent himself to damage the hashtag.
No, John, you're wrong.
No, but I'm still asking.
But
What's
no,
up with this whole
you're
JJ drama? It doesn't make any sense to me.
You're wrong,
Beach,
John.
Max, anyone, Craig?
What?
Like, this is a
What's-
question.
what-
All right,
what-
what
what's
is
the
the
question? What's the question?
Okay, here's the thing that really gets me with this JJ thing. Why is it that you have this person who's openly a feminist, right, openly a progressive?
So?
She's been... I
John,
know, that's my
you're
point.
openly a feminist yourself. There's
Yeah,
audio of you talking about being a feminist and identifying as a feminist.
Also, there's a
Why
problem.
are
with
you
even
here?
identifying
Actually,
as
you know what? Yeah.
Like, you can't
Well, we
identify
could-
as a
See, okay,
Well-
can I explain
well,
something?
let's just-
Can I- wait a
let's-
minute, let me explain one thing. Okay,
Alright.
I don't sit in your meeting halls, so you can't just sit there
don't
and
have
go.
you don't have a place
Hang
of
on a
ultimate
second,
debate?
I'm not.
We
I'm not
should
finished.
fix
Would
that.
you let
We
me
should-
finish the goddamn sentence, the thought, please?
All right.
Thank you.
Go for
it. So when you use words like feminist and progressive, those aren't scare words to me.
I
They
know.
don't
I'm
mean-
not using them
They
as scare
don't
words.
mean to me what they mean
I
to
know.
regular folks when you hang out in the meeting hall.
Here,
I know.
let me translate him for you then.
I
What
know,
he's saying
I know.
is,
Hold on,
John, let
I'm
me
talking.
just translate
I'm
to a
talking.
normal person what the fuck you're trying to say with your autistic bullshit. All right, listen. What John is saying is, why do you allow someone to come in here with an ideology that conflicts with his?
That is
Yeah.
incorrect. That's not the question I was asking.
No, it's legitimately what you're saying. You just don't realize.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I was getting
Okay,
to that.
let's just
in a
say-
round.
let's
I'm,
just say
I'm
that is the
explaining to
question I'm
him
asking,
that I don't have a problem with people who have differing opinions than I do.
Neither do I. So my question is,
But neither
why
do
do
you.
people
So
like?
why do you have
Why
them
do? Oh,
in
no,
here?
you're not letting me talk. Hello, I'm talking. Why do people like Fox?
No, I don't understand what you're
Barrow
saying.
suddenly-
Like, can you
I'm not
please,
done yet.
like,
I'm-
what? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, the mute squad has been invoked.
All right, seriously. Why do these guys have a problem with JJ all of a sudden? This is something I just don't get.
It's
This
what?
person. It's, the point is, like I was saying,
Yes.
the point I was getting at was, why do they suddenly have a problem with JJ?
I don't think
know,
anybody
man.
has a problem with JJ. I think you're the one with a problem with JJ.
Yeah.
I don't. I've been getting along with her fine, but suddenly...
No, that's the problem, is the fact that you're getting way too on with her, from what I hear.
Ah.
Sleeping with the enemy.
No, you can laugh all you want, John, but that's legitimately the problem, is the fact that you are, like, a little too obsessed with her.
Little bit. Yeah, you know, if you keep it up, John, you might end up
all right.
bad
I
shinging.
see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do.
No, you
No, there's
might
no
end up
trying
with-
to do. I'm just relaying information I just heard.
Yes, you did just hear it, probably from Johnny Fox, and people who listen to Johnny Fox generally get blown the fuck
No,
out.
it
No,
wasn't from
actually-
Johnny Fox.
Johnny
actually,
Fox,
and
I heard that from first. I mean, I heard that same line of rhetoric right from his
you
mouth.
hear
first.
it from Johnny Fox, therefore that has to be the person I heard it from.
So
No,
we
Johnny,
agreed
that
then this is
wasn't.
bullshit that you're going off of. You're going off of
No.
bullshit, right?
No, I'm
Why do you
going...
go off of bullshit so quickly? You
John,
believe everything you
John,
hear?
come on. Of all people, you saying that is fucking hilarious.
Okay,
John,
you can find
90% of your arguments
are.
are rooted in bullshit and shit you made up or stretched the truth so far that it's nigh indistinguishable.
Autism! And now more autism is joined.
Yep, obviously.
Double autism!
Anyway, the point I was trying to make was, why do people suddenly have a problem with JJ? I just don't get this.
There's not a
What do you
problem with
mean,
JJ.
all of
There's
it
a problem with
sudden?
how you are obsessed with
No,
JJ.
let me
That is like
be
literally the
specific here.
problem.
Let me be specific here because this isn't about me at all. It really
It
isn't.
is
You can make it about me. You
It
can make whatever
legitimately
claims you want
is
about me.
about you.
You can say that, but it doesn't matter. My question is,
It does.
I reject your reality and substitute it for my own.
you want to go on record as saying that?
No, John, oh my god, do you not understand that I was talking as you in that?
I don't think anyone gets your sense of humor because you don't really know how
Really,
to know
Max,
a joke.
No,
Did you-
no, I
talk
get it
in the
because it's
same-
Mythbusters. It's a Mythbusters reference.
It's actually from a movie from
No.
what it's called.
That's where it's most popularly known from, anyways.
Yeah.
And here's
It
Annihilator
actually
with the
comes
same
from-
argument. That's where I heard it from, therefore that must be where he heard it from. God
God damn, you don't know how to communicate in a normal
There we
conversation.
go. Much better.
You too
Much
are
better.
fucking, like,
Did
oh,
you just kick him from the call?
Nah, man.
oh
I've
no,
been
you're
doing it,
censoring
John.
his ability to.
I didn't make that claim. I didn't make that claim. Don't put words in my mouth, honey.
When did I ever say that? I was saying that as myself.
Valentine's Day is over, man.
I was saying that for myself. And John, I've already said I want to fuck you, and you turned me down.
Yeah, you did say that. That
Yeah,
was pretty
because I
pathetic.
do
You
have
to
a
actually
thing
turn
for
to
some
me about
bottom-ass bitch boys, but it's cool. I understand. You're afraid of penis, just like
that.
you're
Anyway,
afraid of
my
vagina.
question is, why do people suddenly have a problem with JJ? That's the thing I just don't get. It just bugs the hell out of me that you have this
John, you're the
guy.
most broken fucking record. Nobody has a problem with JJ. People have a problem with how
Okay, so,
obsessed you are with her.
you're not in the middle of a flame war with Johnny Fox at the moment?
No. I don't know what the fuck.
Nope.
My whole thing with Johnny Fox is I think he's hilarious because he thinks he's some hot shit
No,
big shot.
Beardmoe. I'll explain. No, John, there was no flame war with Johnny. There was a 3-hour thing where we made memes and poked fun at Johnny. I remember that, but that was
That's
for
a
3
flame war.
hours.
That's what we call a flame war. Unless you
Yeah,
want to
that-
make
that
fun of what a
flame
flame war
war.
is.
Dude,
That was
Okay. All right.
you
all right,
misuse
we can-
jargon all the time. Like, you try to say, what is it? Like,
How do you
fucking
not
the
know
other
what
day.
jargon means? Hold on. How do you not know what jargon means? You keep on asking what basic words I go over. You just keep on saying whenever someone corrects you on that, oh, it's pedantry or something like that, right? What's up with that?
When did I say that?
Why do you keep on deflecting questions?
Jargon. Not
Why do you keep on deflecting
jargon.
questions?
Jargon.
Why do you keep on deflecting
Jargon.
questions and bullshit? That
Stop
You
it.
need to get your meds filled. You need to get your meds filled, John.
No, but seriously, I just want to get to the root of this problem.
Okay, and to get to the root of the problem, you need to admit that you are obsessed with JJ.
You want that
Not
sweet,
really.
sweet blue pussy hair.
Oh God, no. No.
Glorious ripe peach. Oh, I forget, you're uncomfortable with sexual things. That's right. It's kind of weird that you're so uncomfortable with sex and yet you decided to be...
Beardmoe, it's because he has autism.
No, it's
because of
honestly
my-
weird because he
The
used to
thing
try
is-
to
the
work
thing
for
is,
Luke
I don't fuck a
Gamer.
man and pretend to a woman. I don't fuck a man and pretend to a woman, Beardmoe.
Okay.
But you do for Barlow.
No,
I
that's
don't-
just a joke.
Is that supposed to offend me that you say I fuck a man who pretends to be a woman? That's the truth.
That is the truth. Yes, you are
Yeah.
fucking a man because you're a filthy degenerate. Why do you keep on going down this
Oh
path
my
of self-hatred?
God. Jesus, John. Wow.
It's not self-hatred, actually. It's more...
Then why do you fuck a man like you fuck a woman?
John, when's the last time you fucked anything?
Why do you fuck a man like you fuck a woman?
When's the last time you fucked anything?
Why do you fuck a man like you fuck a woman? I asked you that question. Please answer.
Because it feels good and they like it.
John, you
So
are...
basically,
Buddy, if you would give me a
emotional
chance
damage
to
where
fuck you like
can't-
a woman, John, if you would give me the chance to fuck you like a woman, I promise you don't.
Hey, if you want to go on record as hitting on me, like you have to get in line. Like pretty much every faggot and every woman nowadays wants a piece of me. I don't know why that is.
Oh yeah,
Oh
Funny.
my
ladies,
God, here we
all
go.
the ladies want the John dick.
I don't get it either.
Everybody
It's like
loves
we're
it.
on the internet talking bullshit, and people are into me. I don't get that.
You know who you remind me
Yeah,
of?
definitely, John.
I remind.
No,
Yeah,
no.
you-
There's this guy. You actually kind of look like him too. He used to come in streams all the time and rant about how he was this amazing God's gift to women and how women just fuck him
So
over
you're
and stuff.
talking
And I
about
guess,
yourself at the moment.
dude, I'm a
Because you're
fag.
not God's gift to women because women don't find you attractive. That's why you're stuck with men.
John,
John, why so
when was the
salty?
last...
No. Well,
John,
what
I have
I'm
a-
saying is,
That sounded really, really bitter. That
John,
response. Why
I
you sound
have a
so salty?
legitimate question.
No.
John, I have a legitimate
Go for
question. When was the last time you and Barlow cuddled? Like, for real? Like, you need some human interaction, obviously. So when was the last time your boyfriend cuddled you?
Well, I'm not a faggot, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, well, there's been a lot of projection for the last 5 minutes.
that really does, I know. But no, what I was saying, you remind me of that guy. What the fuck is his name? Ben Endomorphosis. That's right. You even look a lot like him, except you actually have straight-looking eyes. You act just like him, too. It's fucking hilarious. That's why I poke you. Just like I used to poke Endo, because it's fun. It's hilarious. Because you do this. And
Where's
it's
the
endless
humor?
entertainment.
I don't see where's the joke.
You don't
see
see
the
the
joke.
humor.
No,
No,
nobody sees the joke. No, nobody sees the joke. People pretend
see
to
the
laugh
joke.
at the jokes.
I
Oh.
see the
People
joke.
pretend to
It's
laugh.
pretty fucking
People like
funny.
Max who are cucks like Max laugh at your
Oh,
jokes.
cucks.
They're trying to
Oh,
suck
I'm a
up to
cuck.
you. They see
I'm a
you
cuck.
as some kind of alpha, and all that it is like Max.
Wait, you're telling us that Beardmoe's an alpha?
Oh!
What I'm saying is that Beardmoe pretends to be an alpha, and you guys looking for emotional attachment orbit
Yes,
around him.
John, the one
Who is
pretending.
you guys? I'd like to know.
I
Yeah,
am the
who is
pretender.
you guys? Please, tell me.
I already did.
Okay.
Well, is it just Max, or is it you guys as in a general colloquialism?
Yeah,
Anyway,
like, are you referring to me,
the whole
or are you
stream,
referring...
you're talking about me and Verlo and people who matter.
The whole
Oh, okay.
stream? Wait, people who matter?
Oh,
John, do you legitimately think anything you do in the air, like in the whole
No, I
world
think it's all
of
bullshit. I
video
really
game journalism
don't have the same
is
mindset.
matters?
I don't have the same mindset as you guys because I'm not an idiot who dedicates my entire life to this thing.
oh!
Did he even
Oh,
listen to
God.
the stream? Max, did he even listen to the stream? Did he even listen?
God.
Or did he get so triggered that he ran off to try to find somebody to come crash our stream and didn't listen to a word he says?
Why
We
does
said
he find
because
it
he
Gamergate?
legitimately just parroted my exact.
Wait a minute. On stream, you said that Gamergate's this weird kind of subculture, but you
Oh,
keep on
God.
borrowing terms and keep on using them. Why is that?
Dude, no.
Why are you dodging the question?
legitimately just used my
Why
own.
are you dodging the question?
Because it's a stupid fucking question. It's not
Because you,
rooted in
can't,
reality.
because you have no answer for that, do you?
John, why do I have to
It's an
answer?
inherent contradiction to your own assessment of me. It's
Tell me
because it's a
more, John.
reflection of yourself.
Hmm. In what way?
Now, I have another question. When was the last time you actually got out of your house?
Today.
Because you talk about, oh, you live with your mom, or oh, you never touched a woman, which, by the way, you haven't. And you keep on going on about all these rants. But what do you do?
What do I do?
What do you do?
I work.
Like, tell me something about yourself that doesn't have anything to do with this
John,
internet
what do
bullshit.
you
Tell
do?
me something about
Yeah,
yourself.
You get out of your
John,
house,
what do you do?
That's deflection. Why don't you just answer the question? You've been deflecting every single question I've been asking
I
this
asked
entire
it
time.
first. I asked it first, so it's not.
I asked my question to beardmoe first.
Well, I want my question answered.
Mhm.
Well, you can have your question answered later.
I work
Well,
from
that's-
home, John.
Ooh. You work from home, so you don't actually get out of your home.
It's a well-known fact that I'm pretty much a hermit, yes.
Okay.
So it's
Beardmoe,
okay.
Beardmoe answered. So
Hermit, yet you're making fun of other people for being hermits.
No,
Yeah.
John. I didn't even... And when did I say you live with
Why are
your
you getting
mom?
mad so easily? It's
I
like you
just
get
said
so
when-
frustrated. It's like you try to be this tough guy, but you cannot find the words.
John, I am not the
There
one
it is
mad
again.
right
There
now.
it is. Yeah, it's like you have to like lower your voice just to prevent yourself from screaming in anger, like you did with that stream with Endemorphosis
It's an insult,
that you
John.
earlier.
Holy shit. John, you are
There it is again.
never-ending fucking...
And I can hear the beer bottles clanking in the background. Probably because
What
it's had a
the
few.
answer for that, John?
pint glass with water in it, John. I don't drink. And I
That's
haven't
what
had
you allege.
weed in
But
months. Oh,
that's-
okay. Oh,
that's
I tell you what,
that's
then you go ahead and do
anger
some
about that.
digging and you write your little medium piece that shows the world that I'm a raging alcoholic, okay? You go
That would be
right
pretty
ahead.
funny.
No,
That
please
is a
do.
pretty funny idea, but I have more important things to worry about when it comes to beating pieces.
Okay.
Yeah. What would those be, John? What more important media pieces?
I don't have to answer to you.
Well, no, you don't. But
You're
I'm
a
asking
joke.
you.
You're a
Oh.
joker.
Why are
There's
you
no point in
deflecting?
answering
I
questions.
am
You're
a joker. You're right, but like, still, I'm asking. I'm not demanding. I'm simply asking you, like, what other media pieces?
And I addressed your question by saying it doesn't require an answer. But the real question is, why is there this little circle that basically goes around spending their time worrying about what I am doing when they could be worried about what they themselves are doing?
John, it's not about worrying what you're doing. It's about you're so goddamn fun to troll.
Legitimately.
But then why isn't it working?
It is.
It is very much so. I've put zero effort into this, and the thing
I
is,
know.
I told everyone in this room exactly.
That's the
what
thing
was
about a
gonna
troll.
happen
That's the
when
thing
I
about a
sent
troll,
you
as,
the link.
as Max has told me. You actually have to put effort into it and actually just be
No.
funny. You have failed at both those counts.
No. See, John, that's not what I said. I never said you had to put effort. I said that in order for the troll to be successful,
It has
You
to be
have-
funny. It has to be
yes,
funny, right?
and it's
So
very
it's not funny, then if there's no joke,
it's-
if there's no humor,
John, it's
why
not
are you
funny
guys
for
forcing
you
all
because
this
you're on the
laughter
receiving end
and
of it.
making up all this bullshit?
It's trust me, John. It's very funny. You're a barrel of laughs, man. In infinitesimal.
all right. That's why you're forcing all the laughter like you usually do. Honestly,
Okay.
it's just boring, to be honest.
I can.
Okay.
I'd
can
rather
tell
have an adult conversation like I tried to at the beginning of this, but you're
John,
like,
you have to have the
really?
capacity to have an adult conversation to have an adult conversation.
all right. So, what do you think of the Gawkers case?
I think it's fucking hilarious, but the 115 won't stand.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. I hope you're wrong in that, but you know,
No,
you could
there's
be right.
no-
I do know people do get overly optimistic about these sorts of things.
No, there's no way that 115 will stand. They'll still have to pay out the ass, but it's not going to be 115 million because that's just entirely too high an amount. And they will appeal, and they'll have to lose that $70 or so million that they have to hold in escrow for 3 years while they do
That's
so.
fine, but you are on record saying that Shrek Bank's lawyers speak Disney, and there's no proof of that whatsoever, so you're easily gullible, and anything you have to say regarding legal matters is therefore questionable, highly questionable.
What the fuck? Okay, first
just
off,
answer
what
the
did I say?
What
And
does this
secondly, can you show me this? I'm on record, obviously, so please show me this record.
Hold on, let me go see which channel that is.
Oh
please,
my
that's-
God.
While I'm getting you that link. I'm so tired of this bullshit.
Yeah, you should go take a nap, man. I'll be in a little while to read you a bedtime story.
Okay.
Will you be needing beardmoe to tuck you in?
No. Anyway, but here's the real question that really bugs me. You remember that little video I made of you, Beardmoe? Well, do you remember that? Does he have an answer?
Cricket, 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 cricket.
Anyway, the question I have for you is, oh, he said he'd be right back. All right. So Max, how you doing? Like for realsies?
How you doing, man?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I just don't
you
get
seem
why
a
this
little. You seem a little tense right now. Just a little bit. No bad.
Yeah. I'm just asking you how you're doing because I don't know.
Oh, I'm
just
doing
seems
just
bizarre.
fine. Oh,
It just seems
beard.
bizarre to me. It just seems bizarre to me that people like act certain ways behind the people's backs. And a
Oh.
point that I want to make that I don't know if Beardmoe was here, maybe I'd make it to him, but he's not. A point that I wanted to make was there's this weird thing in my mind about this.
Beardmoe's back. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
you can make your point to him. I'm gonna mute myself.
Here's a weird thing that I have a question for you. Why are you what exactly is your what exactly is your opinion of the green grape as a whole? Like you can go through them one by one, or you can just make a general assessment of them. Keep in mind, I'm there, so if you want, you can take that as what you will. I can give you a list of all the members there, but you're probably aware of it since you do talk with them on a regular basis. At least some of them. This is fucking boring.
I think he's having connection issues because I know I was too.
Yeah. This is just fucking boring.
John Kelly. All I have to
Yeah.
say is, you're famous, dog. You really are. You're famous, man.
I guess I am.
Got that E-fame going.
It's less fame, it's more notoriety, to be honest.
Oh man, like, I will never forget you, man. Like, you got some of the best quotes going for you, man. Like, got that OG swag, man. Straight up.
Yeah. Anyway. So, quick question. You guys recording this, or is this just completely off the record?
Craig. Yo.
It's off air, but if someone's probably recording us in here.
I don't know who's recording it. Anybody could be. It could be Archon, Beach,
No,
Batman.
I'm not recording.
I'm not recording.
I'm guessing you're not, John.
All right.
I don't have the ability to record.
No.
I really don't care. I just came in thinking that it might be recorded anyway.
Okay.
I just don't. Honestly, to be perfectly honest, banter aside, I really don't get why Beardmoe has a thing against me. It's clear
I
he
don't know,
does.
Okay.
I mean, like, he's trying to hide it, but it's like I know he had like a hand with the whole Sarge thing, and I know he had a hand in a whole bunch of other things behind the scenes, and it's like
Wait, what whole Sarge
he tries
thing?
to hide it. What?
You mean the thing with Sarge? You're not talking about the fucking troll stream, are you?
Yeah, that was stupid.
That was not Beardmoe.
No, I know, but I know he had a hand in it because Beardmoe was in that group. So
No,
he wasn't
he
involved.
didn't-
The only question is to what extent.
He had nothing to do with that stream.
Damn.
But he
oh,
was,
Beardmoe's back.
but he
Please
was
tell me
involved.
to speak.
Was the point?
Sorry
Yes!
about that.
Well, how was he
Yeah,
involved?
no.
Was he involved because he shares the
He was
same
in the
four
group.
base
He
pairs
was
as
in
the
the
rest of
group.
humans?
He was in the group we were in.
Well, no. Let's let Beardmoe defend himself. He has a right to defend himself.
Yeah, sorry about that. My internet went down for a bit. What's going on?
How can he defend himself if he keeps on deflecting every question I ask him?
Well, no. You have to ask him the question in order for him to be able to answer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Beardmoe, what's your beef?
The fuck kind of question is that even though? I don't
What's
like.
your beef?
I've already said many times. I
Look,
don't
look.
have
Here's the
beef
thing.
with you,
Here's the
John.
consistent
You're
thing about
fun.
cowboys, right? the consistent thing about cowboys that I've noticed, because I do keep track of these sorts.
No, John, ask the original.
You go. Wait, hold on a minute.
Ask the original.
And you don't know what a
doxing
cowboy
me
is?
right now? Are you doxing me right now, John?
Why would you care about that?
Being a smartass, John.
Okay, seriously, what's your beef?
John, come on, ask
No,
the
dude,
original.
no bullshit.
question.
Come on, what's your beef?
No bullshit, John. Ask the
No,
original.
that's not no bullshit. This is a more important question. What's your beef?
My
God
beef?
damn it, John.
John,
I'm done with you.
okay. If you listened to the stream earlier, I explained my beef with you originally was the fact that you used to be a friend of mine. And I saw you going down a path that was turning you into what you are now, and I tried to tell you to back off and to, like, you know, pump the brakes a little bit and try not to be so autistic, and you lost your shit, which made me lose my shit. But in time, that grew into, like, me finding you more and more funny and just fun to poke, because you always lose your shit when it has anything to do with me. That's
Not
the whole
really.
thing.
You
Not
really don't take up that much
So
headspace, really.
what happened to my beardmoe sexual account? What happened to my based husbando account? Why did you
I don't
jump
know.
into the
People report
streams?
accounts
Why
all
are
the
you
time.
reaching out to Batman to tell him to pass messages to me? Why are you inviting me into Verilo's stream tomorrow? No?
You're welcome to
Why do
come
you
on. It's an
know
open house.
exactly the channel and the stream and the time on the day that I said a certain thing, John?
I have a good memory.
But you don't. I don't take up headspace for you. So how is that? That doesn't make
I
sense.
have a good memory. I can't control it.
So I take up headspace for you, John.
I just said you didn't take up much headspace. Try to keep
Enough for you to know exactly when I said a thing.
Again, I have a good memory. I don't know how it works.
It's
I can't
called
control it.
autism, John. It's called Asperger's syndrome.
Mm.
You can call it what you like. I just have a good memory.
But what was the original question? I answered your question there. Now what's your other one?
That's about it.
Okay, then, guys, what was the question?
The question was what involvement you had with the Sarge stream trolls, if any.
The what? Oh, during the
Okay.
microfallacies list thing?
Yeah, what was your
I
involvement?
had nothing to
Just
do with
relax.
that. I
He
found it
didn't.
fucking hilarious.
Pretend you consider me a
No,
fellow
John,
human being for
John,
a second. Hold
John.
on, hold on.
No,
Pretend
I'm telling you
consider me
the
a fellow
honest
human for a
truth.
second.
I'm telling you honest truth. I swear on the life of my
Beardmoe.
significant other, I had
Beardmoe.
nothing to do with that.
Beardmoe, I was one of the writers.
Yeah, it was. It's.
Yeah, it was. I was one of them. You had nothing to do with it.
I had jack shit to do with that, but it was fucking hilarious.
That was like me,
That
Sarge,
was a
and
nice
Max.
obfuscation. That was a nice obfuscation tactic, but there was a lot of people in that group, including yourself.
No, like
That
no,
was-
John.
Oh, dude,
Sarge
John,
and Max.
you're
Why was
wrong.
he in the group?
John,
Hold
you're
on.
wrong.
If he had zero involvement, why was he in the group then?
Okay,
John, I was in that group far before that ever happened, and I left way before that ever happened
John.
too. I was in that group
Well,
at the
the
same
group
time
was
you
specifically
were.
made for this purpose. So, what was your involvement?
No, it
he
wasn't.
had no involvement,
Yes, it
John.
was.
You're an idiot.
Marked as
He
such.
had
John, he
zero.
added like everyone in. He dumped people
All right,
into the
well,
group to show
yeah.
you what was going on.
You're talking about the flap-a-hole room, right?
No, this
That's
is
the-
later than that.
Oh,
Like-
well, see, yeah, that was the last
Well,
room
we
I
don't have to
remember
go.
being
You don't have to belabor the point. You answer the question. We don't have to keep on going over it.
Well, you
Yeah,
were the
if-
one belaboring the point. Yeah, I had nothing
But
to
don't
you've
do
already
if you
addressed
had-
it. There's no reason to continue, is there?
All right, cool.
Yeah, no,
Good.
No, there's not then. Okay. Cool.
So your entire beef with me was you didn't like what I had to say on Twitter.com.
Okay, first off, John, that's hilarious coming from you of all people.
No,
Secondly,
your entire beef with me came from my statements on
no,
Twitter.com.
but I don't
It doesn't matter
have
how
a
much.
beef
It
with
doesn't
you,
matter
though,
how much
John.
you like.
That's what I'm
It doesn't
saying.
matter
If
how
you
much-
listened and you didn't let
I
your
did listen.
autism turn my fucking whatever I said into whatever you want to make it, if you take it from what I actually said, I said I did originally have a problem with you. Now I just think you're funny.
Right,
My
right. Well, let's
original
stick with that.
problem
Why
was
did
because
you
I saw a
originally have a problem?
friend. Because I saw a friend making a fool of himself, and I was trying to keep that.
When have
from
you
happening.
ever treated me like a friend? Ever?
Any time before I started going ape shit on you.
That isn't.
Man.
That's not true because
Full. circle.
before that, you never, ever treated me with respect, ever.
John,
So you
why-
calling me
why-
a friend here is total bullshit, and I have no idea why you're making up total bullshit for someone that you say, oh, he's just a cow, he's a joke. But then you preface that by saying that, oh, I was friends with him at first, but then I turned on him because I didn't like what he had to say, and then I decided
John,
just
where did we
to make
meet?
fun of him.
Where did we meet?
We met on one of Robin Gething's streams.
No, it wasn't
in
Robin Gething's
October.
stream at the time, but it was... God damn, you remember the month. That's kind of scary. It wasn't Robin Gething's stream at the time, but he was on them, sure, or whatever. It was the OP Game It Forward streams, which...
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right. You're
which,
right.
if you do remember, was my baby. And I was very, very proud of the OP Game It Forward thing. And the people that I brought in to participate... Yeah, and the people that I brought in to participate were people that I trusted, and the people that we ran out were the people that we didn't trust, like Endomorphosis.
I was a part of Op Game It Forward. It was pretty good.
And if you remember, I didn't run you out of that like we ran Endomorphosis out.
That is correct.
And if you remember, I was friendly with you quite a lot. Did I talk shit to you? Sure. Do I talk shit to everybody? Yup.
So what's the difference between talking shit to somebody and considering them an enemy?
I don't consider you an enemy, John, and I never
did.
Then
why did you get so frustrated to me to the point where basically, oh, we have to just ridicule this person?
Because I saw a friend going way too fucking far deep and just absolute insanity, and once it got to the point where I realized he's willing to completely throw away the friendship.
Let's expand that point. What do you consider absolute insanity?
John, have you looked at anything you've
you
done? You
have a lot of messed up issues inside your head.
John,
but you can actually say to someone else that they are absolutely insane. That's curious.
John,
I was being hyperbolic. But when I see somebody making a fool of himself, one of my friends, and I'm trying to keep them from making a fool of themselves, which you've done heartily, constantly, consistently for the past year. When I see a friend of mine, no, to like fucking anybody, John, you may not see it, and no, John, how many people, and it's still
to you, isn't it? I mean, even if it's 100% true, it would still be from your perspective. So me saying,
From my perspective, you were making a fool.
Okay, then go on.
Yeah, from my perspective, you were making a fool of yourself, and I thought, well, maybe I'd want to step in, and I'd say that maybe
But do you remember what I said? Do you remember what I said in that exchange?
Something along the lines of "fuck off."
Before that.
I don't fucking remember, dude. I don't have the retarded
What I said
fucking
why
autism
do you care to stop me from having the fun that I have, considering I don't stop you from having the fun you have?
Because, John, I was trying to be nice.
That's not being nice.
Yeah, it is. Trying to keep somebody from making a fool of themselves is certainly being nice.
The problem is a false air of civility you're putting on to save face.
There's no saving face. Everybody knows I'm an asshole.
No,
I proudly admit to being a cunt.
But you're still trying to make the attempt.
No, I'm not, John.
Then
I don't
why do you
care
make
what people think of me. I've never cared. It's
then
not
why do you have all this justification? Why don't you just rip into me?
Because you're boring at this point.
Well, I thought I was funny to make fun of. I guess that's not the case then, is it?
If you remember, I said were. And if you ask any of the people here when we were talking, I have said that I grew tired of it.
Well, that's a nice consensus, correct? But, I mean, this conversation shows that that's not the case. So why do you keep on coming up with this
conversation bullshit? Shows that it's not the case. You're the one egging the conversation on, and I'm just
You're the one who keeps on responding. And
because if I don't,
so,
you're just going to keep being
surprisingly
and screaming about how I'm not. John,
Look,
at this point, I pity you.
I don't get why someone can just go and on a dime turn on someone they consider a friend.
John, it's exactly what you did to me.
No, it wasn't.
No? Then why'd you tell me to fuck off and start hating on me?
Why did you do that to me first? Why did you care?
I did it first. Why did I care? Because you were a friend and you helped put together something that I was very proud of. You helped do something to actually help gamers. It's probably the only thing you've done to help gamers since you fucking got into the whole Gamergate surrounding thing.
Oh, that burn, though.
John,
talking about
something I was, OP Game It Forward, yes. And I was very proud of that. And any person who was part of that, I pretty much do still keep in contact with them.
Hold on. Why didn't you keep that going? That's
because Endomorphosis stole all the
he stole all the keys, dude.
And sold a whole bunch of them.
But before that, before that you still had access to the keys. Why didn't you just give them away like that?
I did.
Because
Actually, Batman, how many keys did I fucking give you and pass out in chats randomly? What I used to do after that happened, when I knew Endomorphosis was fucking throwing out, like, selling keys, I would pass out keys in chats. I would go to Big Gamergate streams where people were there talking about serious issues, and in the chat I would drop Steam keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like a year later.
No, that was like fucking immediately afterwards and up to
no,
a year
I mean,
later.
The op game at Forward stuff stopped like after January-ish.
Yes, and
then it went dormant for months. It wasn't a year, years
we
and
didn't
after,
do,
but
no,
6
we
months
didn't
later.
do the streams, John. We didn't do the. I'm not talking about the op game at Forward streams that came back. I would go into streams of people that were just having whatever Gamergate streams, talking about whatever
6 months later,
topics.
continue.
No, not even, John.
Remember, you're the one with the poor memory here, not me.
Oh, whatever then. Even if it's 6 months later, I still did the same thing. I went through in these chats, and I would get into the chat on the sidebar in the YouTube, and I would just start dropping Steam keys for people. Because in my eyes, it was better that those keys just get dumped and some random person gets them than if turned around fucking Endomorphosis starts fucking selling them.
Yeah, Endo's
and I applaud you, and I applaud you for doing that. And yeah, we can all agree here that Endomorphosis is a piece of shit. But I can applaud you for doing that at the time. But my question
that's why I was your friend. That's why I considered you a friend, is because that's something that was very important to me. And the last thing that I truly
But I wasn't the one
fuck
fucking that up. I wasn't the one fucking that up for you.
When did I say you fucked it up? I'm sitting here saying that's why I considered you a friend, John.
But it just doesn't make sense that you just turn on somebody because they're shitposting on Twitter.com.
Why are you so upset that I got upset with you, though? That's what I don't get.
I don't understand. No, what I don't get is you're on a stream talking about me, showing shots of what is allegedly my face to other people, and you're like still going on about this, and it's kind of just like old tired bullshit.
No, that was because the subject came up. I wasn't the one who brought you up, John. The subject just tends to haunt me.
But the statement but that's the point. It still haunts you.
Well, yeah, it just happens to pop up whenever I'm in conversation because people know you and I have went at it, and people know that I am probably the one person that can get you riled up more than probably anybody else.
That's not true. I mean, like,
I'd say it's pretty true.
I'd
say it's pretty true.
I may not be 100% true, but it's certainly up there on the list.
Not really. I mean, you've got plenty of other people that you could say do that before you.
Okay, probably so, yeah.
Yeah, but still.
I'm still pretty effective at it when I want to.
But that's for damn sure. This conversation is proof.
The fact you're here and still talking. But I'm not here to troll you right now, John. And if you ask them, they said, if John comes in, what are you going to do? What'd I say? What'd I say?
Oh, yeah, right. You said you were going to say hi, ask him how he was doing, and, you said you were going to be generally nice to John. That was exactly what you said.
Then why were you so hostile when I came in here?
Actually, John, he wasn't hostile. Like, he was friendly, and for a second...
Very, very passive-aggressive and very rude at first.
No, like, we're both...
Look, John, when I want to be aggressive, you know I'm aggressive. I have no reason to be passive in anything. And as you say, I'm an alpha or whatever, however you want to say it. I don't even believe in the whole alpha beta bullshit. It's stupid.
It is bullshit,
to be
perfectly honest.
But I am just a very blunt and straightforward person. I always have been.
That's what I liked about you. That's what I liked about you. And then suddenly,
I'm passive aggressive.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. That's what really got me. It was like, I recall that day. It was having an argument with the faggot panda, who's just a fucking con of like the highest degree. And
I think he's hilarious.
I was
the faggot.
Yeah, and then you decided to butt in and white knight for him out of nowhere. That's what confused me. And when I went to DMs to talk to you about it, you basically decided, I'm just going to leak these DMs instead of just like talking to him because apparently he wants to talk to
John, I told you I didn't want to DM with you, and I told you if you kept DMing me, I was going to post them. And what'd you do?
After I told you hold on a minute. Your problem with me was you thought I was making a fool out of myself. So when I take it away from the public sphere and take it to a private sphere, you tell me to fuck off.
John, it's because I didn't want to get into the art. You were fucking screaming mad at that point, and I could tell that you had just
Autism.
already gone way too
Autism.
far. You had already
got
made
a
a fool
lot
of
of
yourself, and at that
autism.
point, I made the conscious decision that, you know what, it's probably more fun to just fuck with them.
Autism.
Right,
Autism.
that's what I mean.
Am I a
It's
bit of a
so much
sociopath?
Autism.
Well,
No,
I
but
really
you
don't
were
care if you're
doing-
Look, here's the thing. I don't care if you're a sociopath or not. People call me a sociopath because I can control my
Autism?
emotions.
John, you're not a
Autism.
sociopath. You're just an
So
autist.
much autism. Yeah.
But the thing,
And I'm not a sociopath either. What I was saying, that was kind of a sociopathic thing for me to do, sure. But it was one of those things that, like, look, you know as well as I do,
Well,
even
why did
before
you
you
do
and
it?
I had issues. Listen, you know as well as I do, even before you and I have issues, that if there's one thing I enjoy, what is that, John?
the one thing you enjoy is your own autism.
Well, no. I enjoy fucking with people.
That's why you keep on using it as an insult.
I enjoy fucking with people who are easily offended and who easily get way wound out of shape because it's fun.
AKA John Kelly.
And once you
So,
show
in other
that
words,
you
you'll turn on someone because it's fun.
if it's funny as shit, I'll fuck with somebody, sure. I don't care how
That's
friendly
not
we
a
are.
justification, though. That's
I
not
don't-
treating someone as a. That's not treating someone as a friend. That's not coming to someone and saying,
Ask
"Hey,
any
you're
of my
fucking up."
actual
That's
friends
just
that are
fucking
still
with
perfectly
someone
fine
because.
friends with me. How many times I've completely made a fool of them by fucking
But
with them.
their perspectives isn't irrelevant to mine or exchange, so you really can't bring that up to.
Okay, so
try
the
to
difference
validate your
is everybody else is okay with me occasionally roasting them, yet because you are offended by it, I should not
That's
do
not
it
the
to
same
anybody.
thing. That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing.
John, you just
It's not
backed
the- it's
yourself
not
into
an
a corner.
It's not an occasional roast. It's a case of you come in for some reason, which you claim was because autism, and then you just decide to target me and not the autistic NEET who most likely lives with his mom as well
Oh, that's because
for
Panda
some reason.
is like, dude, gaming and pandas, they're legitimately funny. You're
They
not.
are.
Not really.
I will
No.
get no. Well,
They
you may
fully
not think
admit-
to
They
me.
fully admit to ripping off
me.
other
I
artists.
don't care if they're ripping off people's They're memes, dude. Who gives a shit? But
Exactly. Who gives a shit? Like BuzzFeed.
no, that's the thing. No, no, it's fine. Sure, fine. To me,
Yeah, take credit for other people's work and claim it as your own. That's
and
the
I don't
point of it.
care, John. No, that's fine.
Well,
That's
you
fine.
just said they were funny, but all they do
Yes.
is rip off other people's humor.
Okay. It's still funny.
Everybody on the internet does that though. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
It's
Come
still
on now.
funny.
If they think someone's funny, they themselves come up with the jokes originally. If someone just parrots
No,
a joke,
no,
they're not
John.
funny.
No, John.
They're just channeling humor
If I
from somebody
tell you
else
a
and ripping them
joke,
off.
If I tell you a joke and you laugh, you thought it was funny. Now, whether I wrote that joke or not doesn't matter. It was still funny.
yes.
The point is, if you're trying
No,
to
that's
say
not
you're
the
doing
point.
this as a
But
friend,
see, and you're not
you
even
try to
letting me
at the same
answer the
time
question,
say,
John. You're not
I've
letting
already
me
answered
answer
the
the original. No, I'm not asking you to answer me.
All right,
I'm trying to answer your original question before you change it because you know what I'm going to say.
all right. Go ahead.
I didn't fuck with him because he's legitimately funny to me. To me. I find him funny. You, on the other hand, I wasn't getting any entertainment value out of until I started poking fun at you. And once I did, boy, did the entertainment value go through the roof. That's when you get funny, is when you get like this.
But you said at the time you were legitimately mad, and it wasn't only until after the events that transpired that you actually started finding it
No,
funny.
it was.
So
I was
now you're changing your story
legitimately.
up.
No, I was legitimately still
Yes,
mad, but I can be mad and. If you let me finish, I can be mad and still having fun poking fun at somebody. Have you never?
But it often seems like when you poke fun at someone, it often seems expedient to certain parties. Like before that, when I originally called out that piece of shit Coleslaw, who's an even worse degenerate than you are, if you can imagine that.
Who's Coleslaw?
You poke Acid Man, Cole Lamberson. That's his actual name.
Oh, is he? And is he the guy that used to run the old?
HQ.
Yeah. Okay.
He still runs it. He's still an autistic faggot, but that's
Oh,
another
okay.
story.
Well, go on. I don't really do chans much anymore.
Yeah, probably for the best. I mean, 8chan's pretty much killed at this point.
I kind of grew out of chans. I've been on him for too many years anyway. Go ahead though.
Yeah, tell me about it. We can go on.
John, you don't
Probably.
even know the jargon. Come on. But go on. You can pretend all
Anyway,
you want, but go ahead with what you're saying.
Well, you can claim I don't understand jargon, but whatever.
Okay, that's fine. Just get back to what you were saying.
What I'm saying is, at the time, you were white knighting for Azavan hard. You were doing the 29 years meme. You were basically going on and celebrating.
Okay, that wasn't going after Acid Man. That was making fun of that fucking dumb cunt. What's her name? Oh god, she used to post all the fucking time. I don't even think it's a her.
Oh, that guy is a cunt. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, and that's the 29 years. I thought it was hilarious, and I shat on somebody I thought was hilarious, and I'm sensing a pattern here. It's almost as if I find people that get offended and crazy and go off the wall funny, and so I poke them in order to get a reaction.
But the people you find funny happen to benefit certain parties.
What the fuck? Dude, are you legitimately, like, hold on, do you have a cork board with, like, photos of my avatar and a bunch of other ones and, like, red yarn, and you're, like, attaching the... You legitimately...
You're taking this way too seriously, dude. I mean, this is just banter.
No, but you're legitimately saying that, okay, so I choose targets...
I don't understand why you have a problem with human interaction.
What?
What?
John.
What? I'm just done, John.
I'm lost.
I need to go take a break. That was the end. I'm
killing
cool, it.
You go cool down. You cool down, man. You cool down. So, back to the original point. Why is it?
That's why I hate human interaction. Thank you, John. You made my night.
I didn't say that, but whatever.
No, he didn't say that. He actually said, why do I have a problem with human interaction? But where did that even come from? What is that linked to in anything you've said in the past, like, 10 minutes, please? I'm not...
You're very obtuse in this conversation, and you're not very direct and blunt as you usually are, which is
I am
surprising.
being very blunt. I'm just not being as rude as I usually am, because I said I would be nice to you. I'm speaking truth as an individual without putting malice behind it or being
But you've already
overtly
been
funny.
caught in a lot of bullshit on the course of this exchange.
Like what?
Like your memory problems, your reasoning for flip-flopping on your opinion and assessment of me, whether or not you agree with the level of agreement you had with the moderation of Gamergate HQ.
When did that even come into... What the fuck? That was never even a topic.
I know you have memory problems, but think back hard, back around April or May-ish of 2015. Again, I have a good memory.
I don't remember by months, man. I remember by things that happen. I don't catalog things in my brain and know, like, I barely know my fucking fiance's birthday.
Well, it's established you have a poor memory. But to help you out with that department.
Yeah, please do.
All right. So basically we can trace this. Basically,
John,
we
if
can
you
trace
slow down, you won't stammer so much. Just take it slow.
All right. You don't have to take things so seriously, but if you want to.
No, I'm not. I'm just.
It's happened around back in when was it? It was back around the time sometime after Acid Man took over the board. You basically got people started criticizing certain questionable moderation practices he had, right? And you were fully in agreement with those moderation practices, despite the fact that he was pushing out certain ideas.
Are you talking about trying to keep the A team from fucking shitting all over the board, banning them?
That was one. That was one part of it, and
yeah, I'm fine.
That was one part of it. Well, here's the thing. I can agree that's a minor issue. That really wasn't a biggest concern at the time.
Moderation is important. I mean, look at GG Revolt and how much of just a complete pile of shit it was most of the time.
It's fun. And, people don't take this thing seriously.
But that's the thing is, like, sure, it's fun, but GGHQ wasn't meant to be fun. GGHQ was meant to be the more serious.
Why do you take things so seriously, though? That doesn't make sense to me. What's the point in any of this online bullshit if you're not having fun while doing it? If you're taking things way too seriously, there's no fun, and basically people just burn out like they did with Acid Man.
There's a difference between having fun all the time and actually, because look, back in the days whenever all that was happening, it's when John, let me finish what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Well, back in that time, we were actually working towards, like, legitimate goals, and Gamergate was actually pretty organized. That's whenever we were doing the mass email campaigns, and we were getting tons of people to drop.
Not true.
Off of, okay, fine, whatever you say.
The email campaign stopped around February, probably earlier than that.
And that was the whole time that I was really spending time on those boards. The only other time I was even on GGHQ was I was in the fucking bullshit and gossip thread or whatever the fuck that was, because, once again, I like looking, laughing, and poking at stupid people, which is why I made fun. Was it Swami? Is that her name? Swami?
His name.
Okay,
it's a dude.
whatever. All right, dude, sure. Yeah, that's why I made the 28 years memes
29.
and stuff, and whatever the fuck. Yeah, see, I don't even remember that. Fuck.
It's now
the whole
28 because a year has passed, so it's like, continuation of that. I mean.
But that's the whole reason I was there. Look, the only places I ever went on 8chan really was that thread on GGHQ, on V, because it's, well, V, and I'd occasionally drop in Cow to see them ripping on Randy Harper or fucking, what's his name, with the fucking
Anthony Birch?
ass girlfriend, no. With the doll girlfriend.
Peter Coffin.
Yeah, Peter Coffin. But, like, when it came down to, like, the early stuff on GGHQ, yeah, that's the reason I stopped going in the threads was because they got filled with fucking shills, retards, and just asshats. Which is kind of understandable on most chans, but the whole thing was like, once they started pushing against, the mods started moderating to get the retards, assholes, A-team, dipshits that were actually detracting for conversations that could have been actual, good and could have done something and moved Gamergate forward in some way and organized them instead of letting it fall apart like it did. Then those people started a fucking board war. I don't care about that shit, but all I was saying in that whole exchange was, it's important to have moderation. You may not like it, and you may think, oh, it's against freedom of speech, but there's an important, like, when it comes to a focused board, moderation is key. You need moderation.
But that's the problem. That's the problem with a
I'm not going to get into the argument of why it's right or wrong, John.
But you made that argument at the time, so why are you backpedaling now?
I'm not backpedaling.
Well, why are you not willing to defend your stance now that it comes back to light again?
Oh, well then fucking go ahead. If you think I need to defend my stance that moderation is an important thing. Like, Jesus Christ. Do you think that we all should run around and have zero laws? Do you think that, like, I mean, it's the same sort
That's a bit of an argument at absurdism. I mean, like...
Yeah, of course, your fallacy bullshit. It doesn't matter to me, John.
Weren't you criticizing me for fallacies earlier?
Yes, it was. That's called humor. That's called humor, John. I was criticizing you for fallacies because that's what you do.
But
and
it wasn't
with me, we're having a conversation, not a debate. And that's
exactly.
the issue.
So
that's why I think it's
so... Let's not criticize each other for the words we use and just focus on the substance.
You literally criticized me. That's what started this entire back and forth exchange right here, John. The one where you're saying,
it wasn't.
It's not okay. All right, well, go ahead with what you're saying.
All right. Well, I think you were in the middle of a point, so...
No, I wasn't. I finished my point. I did.
Now I've had a brain fart, and I can't remember the point for
your
life.
Autism ran away with your memory. God damn it. No,
God damn.
What I was saying is that it's important to have moderation, especially in things that back before all that happened, GGHQ was a driving force in actually doing a lot, and they were where most of those campaigns were centered. And you're talking to somebody who has a rather extensive and very I have a ton of experience in actual political activism. Like, I was a lobbyist in Texas. I lobbied.
Why are you wasting your time with Gamergate?
Because I don't want to be an activist anymore, but I saw something that, like, I thought, oh, hey, I enjoy activism. I don't want to be a lobbyist anymore. I enjoy not having to go and sit in front of fucking Rick Perry. You know, like, that was annoying. I hate lobbying, that fucking son of a bitch. But I saw something that I was like, well, I could use my skills for this. I could tell people how they could get things effective. Who do you think came up with the ideas for letter writing campaigns and email campaigns? Who do you think helped organize that shit from the beginning, John?
You can claim it's you, but...
I'm not saying me 100%, but there were a good few of us who have a lot of histories. A lot of history in activism and actual political work, who understand how systems work. The reason that we kept saying that boycotts are stupid and don't work, because we have fucking experience in it. I'm not saying it was 100% me. John, you have to have a severe market share to make any impact in a boycott, and actually, most of the time that you do boycott anything, it actually ends up benefiting them because it gives them more press. And it
Tell
pulls
that to
more
EA
attention.
with Boycott Battlefront.
Really? Yeah? And EA's doing horrible now, aren't they? They're just terrible.
They lost a lot of profits
Oh,
from
yeah,
that.
so much money they lost. Oh, God, they never made another Battlefront game again, did they? Nobody ever bought another Battlefront game. That was such a horrible thing.
That is ostensibly that is true. I mean, it's a bit of polemic, but the last Battlefront game did terribly, and the servers are all dead now, and they lost about 200 mil based on the sales figures.
They made a bad game, John, but it wasn't the boycott.
They made a bad game that got a lot of bad PR and had a lot of people pushing not to buy the game. Thank you.
It wasn't the boycott that did it, John.
It doesn't matter. Okay, we don't have to have this argument about whether or not the boycott caused it. What matters is the signal in correlation with the. Exactly. We don't need to prove that. All that the market analysis care about is what people are talking about at the time of the boycott.
No, actually, market analysis more care that people are talking about it in any light.
You're right. My bad. I made a mistake. Boycotts don't exist. I forgot that rule.
No, it's not that they don't exist. They're just not effective.
They don't exist. No. Boycotts are fairy tale. People made them up.
What the fuck are you even on about?
There's no such thing as a boycott. There can only be an awareness campaign about how bad a game is. That's all you can really do, and just inform people, consumers, that hey, this game may not be worth your money, and you shouldn't really buy it. But a boycott does not exist.
John, you're never going to convince people who are actual fans of something that it's not something like. Look, the people who were buying
the point of the argument is
are always going to buy.
To point out that having a semantical argument about boycotts is pointless. What matters is what people did and whether or not it was effective.
And you know what was a hell of a lot more effective than boycotts?
A boycott against websites?
It's not a boycott, John.
It is a boycott. What do you think people wrote in those emails to people about those advertisers?
That's an action. A boycott is by definition. A boycott is by definition.
Are we having a definition? Oh my gosh, we don't have to go into this autism about definitions.
No, of course not,
John, I just want to strap you to a chair and force you to listen to yourself.
Really?
I listen to myself all the time. It really sucks being me, but that's another story entirely.
No, it's not even that. I mean, you need to hear yourself from the third person point of view and just hear the autism then.
There's a reason that there are all these people here silent and actually not leaving. They're not just putting themselves on mute and walking away from their computers. It's not banter, John. You're taking this.
It's not banter. You're not having fun.
Beardmoe, I have to be honest with you. That's actually precisely what I did for a little while.
No, that's fine. Well, I don't blame you. To be honest.
Did that. I did that for a
little while. Laundry done.
Yeah, I did that for a little while too, man. I went and got a drink.
It's just.
Yeah.
I'm just here playing games, listening to the funny shit.
Exactly.
But we're getting aside from everything here with the whole boycott thing. But my whole reason for that was tangential as fuck. The whole reason I was saying that it's important to have moderation is because the board was doing things that was very effective. That were dropping, fucking advertisers were dropping like flies. They were leaving like.
No, that you're thinking Gamergate, not Gamergate HQ. There's two different things.
All right, whatever. But that's the thing.
No, it's a very critical. It's a critical difference because one was run by a guy named.
Yes. Yeah. I know. The Gamergate board, and then it moved to GGHQ whenever the fucking thing happened, and A-Team took over that first board. So what happens when the next board that became adopted as the main Gamergate board? Whether or not you want to say there was some conspiracy to do it or not doesn't really matter. It wasn't a
conspiracy.
But who cares?
No one ever said that.
Yeah, but whatever. But when it became adopted as the new board, why do you think that somebody who originally was saying, hey, let's do this and we can actually do some important things and make these people lose some advertisers, why do you think we wouldn't want moderation after that had just happened? That was the whole thing.
It's
That was
not-
my whole argument there. And that's all that
But-
Acid was really saying at the time, for all I knew. I don't read that deep into it. I'm not obsessed with him. I'm not going to read every damn thing he says. I don't keep up on the fucking bullshit on Twitter. I don't care. My focus was, hey, cool, I can help organize these letter writing campaigns. And, hey, cool, that's fun. And then from there, I don't give a fuck. I'm here to fucking poke fun at retards and have fun. But when it comes down to... But I kept that in the fucking poke fun at retards thread, whatever the fuck it was. E-drama, E-celeb drama thread, whatever. Yeah.
Which also conveniently over time prevented certain people from being criticized as well.
Okay, that's whatever. But just...
That was an effective that the thread had. It basically contained it, basically saying that it created basically a protected class. It's really bizarre how these things happen. Like, you have a person going on Twitter, I won't say his name, but he's known for a famous game that I hear is great. It's called Fleetcom. Just claim that they have game dev status when they didn't actually do anything, and people just take their word at face value. And there was dozens and dozens of these people doing this. Then, of course, you had bigger players like Faggot.
But like, hold on. That thread would constantly shit on Rogue. Constantly shit on Rogue.
Okay.
That's
He
all
did.
that
He did get
thread
shit on
did.
pretty hard. He did get shit on. He did get shit on pretty hard, and then he left.
Everybody got shit on in that thread. They didn't moderate that thread. They actually, no, they did, but it was only when A-Team came in there and started spamming dumb shit. They would moderate spamming in that thread, but that was about
You gotta admit, that's pretty funny.
What? Moderating A-Team?
No, I'm just saying, you gotta admit, that's A-Team coming on the board and moderating team, yes.
I mean, I think whenever it's... Well, here's the thing. That thread was it was a cyclical thread, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of the times, if you start paying attention and you actually were in the thread a lot, you would notice when they would start spamming the thread is when anybody would start poking fun at them and starting pointing out things about them. At that point, they tried to cycle the thread as much as possible by spamming. And by spamming, I'm not even talking about like, haha, you're a faggot. Like, no, legitimately just posting same picture after same picture, same thing after same thing. Legitimate spamming, which is just, it's boring, and it serves nothing other than to refresh and push posts off the thread, which is why it got moderated. And the reason that they ended up getting run off is because they made it clear that they weren't there even to like poke fun at retards in that thread, or in the main reason they got run off the damn board was because they were going on the other threads that were actually trying to talk about things, and that was the ones they were shitting up and spam filling. And if you know something about Chans, is there is a post limit. And you really don't want to have to go to another thread, because then you get stuff lost in the exchange. The old thread ends up falling off the board, so you lose information. It's better to keep threads nice and tidy on issues that people deem important. So when you have people, it's like saying you're eating at a restaurant, and in walks in this guy and his 7 shitty kids that run around shitting in their hands, throwing shit at the walls, and you can't tell them to leave. It's like, well, no, yeah, you definitely can tell them to fucking leave. Yeah, they've got a right to come there, but the person who owns that restaurant, just like the person who ran and owned that board, has the right to tell them to go. It's a free market. There, you can make any board you want.
Okay.
You did.
Problems with this. Right, but here's the thing. You're saying it's a free market, but you're saying it needs to be regulated. You do realize that that's not an inherent contradiction, but you can see how those two things.
No.
Right?
There's a difference between regulation and an owner regulating his own business. You're saying regulation in the sense of like it should be from the top down. That's no. Every owner has the right to do his own property as he sees fit.
It's not a matter. Wait, hold on. It's not a matter of who does it.
No, it is. It absolutely is a matter of who does it. It's got to be coming from the owner.
Who died and made Asimad in charge?
He was the fucking owner of the board. He owned the board, therefore it was his call. If you didn't like it,
and
you could have made another board, which you did.
And how did that come? If you want to make who put acid men in power.
Honestly, I don't remember. Was it Dry Bones?
V took charge, quite openly, in fact.
Who?
No, it was V.
Who's V? V Monroe?
V. The board, V.
That's not a person,
V.
John.
No,
I'm
V.
talking about an individual. You're talking in conspiracy, like grandeur theories. Like, who gives a fuck? A board cannot own anything.
No, it wasn't not a conspiracy. It was all out in the open.
John,
No, I mean,
there's what
when I say
individuals on
V
V.
did it, I don't
When
mean
you
there's
say
a person
V,
named V.
Yeah, you mean the entire board of V. It's so dumb. John, V has their own
No, I didn't say that.
threads.
Let me rephrase. All right, I see there's a. I
Please,
see
tell
you
me
have a
what
problem understanding
individuals-
exactly what I
no,
mean here,
yeah, no, I
and
do.
you're interpreting something that I don't mean.
Yeah, then please fucking explain it better than the vague-ass statement of V.
At
What
the time, if you
individual
actually
names,
if
John?
you actually go through the threads at the time when Blady burned down the board, and you actually take a look at what was happening, there were people on that board deciding who was going to be in charge there.
Okay.
They took out options that the community put forward, and they said those options could not be trusted just on a whim, and they opted to go with this autistic faggot who had been consistently notable for being an autistic faggot, and they
Oh, so
decided to
you
put
mean
him
like
as the board moderator.
As in the board V took a democratic process and decided amongst themselves that they democratically
No, it wasn't
think
democratic.
that this.
It was
Well, that's
democratic.
how is that anything but democratic, John? If they reached a
You
consensus
keep on
that
using
they
that
want
word
that person,
because it wasn't exactly. Consensuses aren't reached; they're cracked.
all right. Well, even if it's not democratic, and I do concede that point, sure. But so okay, so they came together and they said that we want this guy to run the board. Fine. Then he got ownership of the board. That completely doesn't change the fact that he is the owner of that board, and it is up to him what happens to it on it. And if you don't like what happens on his board, you are more than welcome to go and make a GG revolt, which they did.
Correct.
That's the whole
You are correct.
point, John.
Yeah.
So what's the problem here?
The problem was after GG Revolt took over, GG Revolt got shit on and shilled on a lot. You know how you were complaining about shills going to your home and basically wrecking shit up? How would you like it if those same people that went ahead and complained about all those people shitting up that board went ahead to another board that threatened with competition and just started shitting it up?
Well, it sounds to me like they might have probably used some moderation.
You could argue that point, but don't you think it's disingenuous to impose such a thing on them?
Not on a Chan board, no. Welcome to fucking.
So it's fair
welcome to the
game
rice
for
fields,
this board over
motherfucker.
here. It's fair for this board over here to be shilled on, but it's not fair for this board over here to be shilled on.
No, it's
And people
perfectly
who
fine
think
for
of-
GGHQ to have been shilled on. It just got moderated.
Exactly.
And they're the ones. No,
But
that's fine.
that leaves the
because-
question. Okay,
No, but
okay,
GG
yes, but let's stick with that
was the
point.
one
Hold
who
on,
had
let's
the
stick with that
rule
point because
to
that
moderate,
goes
John.
down to a point that you dodged with. You went from I said how and you said who, and you said it was okay that they put this guy in through a non-democratic process, and
Sure.
I'm questioning how did he run that board?
However he wanted to.
Exactly, however he wanted to, not however the community decided.
Because he was the owner, John. Who decided that he should be the owner doesn't fall into
So you
accountability
could
after
say
that point.
you could say that he was put into a position of power.
Sure. And if you didn't like the position of power he had, you could have had an equal position of power by making your own board, John.
And that board got shilled on heavily by
Because
a
you
bunch of
decided
little
to
cliques
deploy
that
a
decided to run around.
different tactic than he did. And you decided, I'm not saying you, by you I mean GG Revolt. And GG Revolt
Understood, go on.
decided instead
Keep in mind,
of
bear in mind.
moderating.
Well, one point I just want to make real quick. At first, I was not in favor of GG Revolt because of a certain person that was running that board that made me go.
I don't care, John, to be honest.
All right, go on.
And I'm saying you because you're representing GG Revolt in this conversation. But GG Revolt decided that they don't want moderation. After those very people were the people that got run off because they were moderated for shitting on GGHQ. A lot of them, not all of them, sure, but a lot of them were the very people who were shitting and got moderated on GGHQ. Now, because of that, they go and said, well, fuck it, we'll make our own board with blackjack and hookers and no rules. When you do that...
There are not... Misconception. There is a misconception. There are rules in GG Revolt. There are 3 rules on...
You use the universal rules, and originally it was the universal rules only apply, and that's it.
Nope.
Well, no.
Universal rule, no doxing, no spam.
Okay. All right, so you bring it down to that, and then you say that we're not going to moderate anything. What the fuck do you think is going to happen on a Chan, John?
Chaos.
Yeah, and what happened?
Bunch of chaos happened.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Does that mean it was appropriate for other people to go ahead and get themselves involved with that business by basically smearing the reputation of the board and poisoning the well?
What does it matter? There's no reputation to be had on a Chan, John. Boards don't
That's
have
because
reputation.
the problem is you would be correct. You would be correct. You would be correct, except for one critical factor.
Well,
most of the people that use 8chan are from Reddit. This is a problem that a lot of people noticed, and a lot of people left as a result. It happened during one of the... What?
Oh, hold on. I think I'm on a delay now. I think my internet faded for a second. Give me a second. I'm going to refresh. I'll be right back in.
Yeah, also, John, your mic is kind of cutting in and out a bit. I don't know if that's...
Was that him then?
I don't know. It might be him. I don't know.
No, that is
him.
him.
But yeah, John, your mic was kind of cutting in and out a little bit.
All right, I'm going to try something for a second. If I cut out, I'll be right back. So.
Oh joy.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah, I thought I was on a delay. It seems he's the one on a delay.
Okay, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yep. You're
Still delayed? All right, good.
No, yeah, you're delayed. You should...
All right, I'm going to refresh. Hold on 1 second.
It's not much, but it's like 4 seconds. It's annoying as fuck. This kid. Jesus.
All right.
You go ahead. Go ahead.
Where was I? Oh, yeah.
We're talking about why GG Revolt
basically,
failed horribly.
The point I'm getting at is, well, that wasn't really, that's kind of like a tangential point. That wasn't really the dispute that you, it did, yeah, I'll agree with you. It failed and GGHQ failed.
Yeah, they both did, because it was a fucking stupid board war.
Similar.
They failed for the same reason, because they split. The reason they split is because some people got a hair up their ass because they couldn't say and do whatever the fuck they wanted, because the guy who owned the board decided that he didn't
some
want
of the things they wanted to do
whatever they wanted. Where maybe
and
weren't
people were
sure,
unhappy with the...
And that's fine. And people can be unhappy with the leadership and move. Not all of us have to be unhappy with the leadership, because some of us are, though. And that's the thing. It's like this collectivism, this idea of the collectivism that happened was what broke apart both of the boards and ended up killing GG as a whole anyways. Because GG started to divide into cliques, into like-minded cliques. Before, GG was kind of a free-for-all back in the early days, and a lot of us did disagree, but we agreed to disagree on a lot of things. Now it's been, GG Revolt has been adopted by the alt-right in a lot of ways, not all of them, of course, but a very heavy portion of GG Revolt is alt-right, and very little people on GGHQ are. And you cannot argue that at all. You cannot argue against that. I mean, you can, but you'd be wrong.
I'm not familiar enough with the alt-right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue that point, because.
But what I'm going to say is, like,
I think you have a point. I just wouldn't phrase it that way.
Stuff.
So we can just agree that was the fight for the.
That's what destroyed Gamergate. That's why.
Well, can I tell you what the dispute was?
It was the boycotts. I think that was the big thing that pissed people off.
I can point out exactly.
Sure, go.
Boycotts were part of it. But it was actually the stupid anti-SJW versus ethics debate, which That was fucking retarded. The whole thing of it was like, you're basically to me the consumer advocacy side of thing. That's more of like a traditionally left-wing side of things. Like, you can argue whether or not that's accurate or not, but that's
John,
traditionally
it has
from the
nothing
left.
to do with left or
The
right politics.
SJW stuff,
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Your conversation, your line of argument
No,
was what destroyed Gamergate. It is exactly what destroyed Gamergate. Trying to
but
split it
hold
into
on.
us
Didn't you just
versus
say that
them.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes, that's exactly what I said. Most the alt-right went
Okay.
there, most the leftists
let's-
GGHQ, and they split. Instead of
So we're not-
agreeing to disagree on issues.
But there's
Yes,
a
John.
reason. When Acid Man made his perp, said that some of the stuff that he was getting rid of from this board were people who were too into the anti-SJW stuff.
Because that was his decision to make, sure.
Yes, but you can see how that causes a right-left divide.
I'm not saying it wasn't his fault. I'm saying it was up to
All
him
right,
to make
then
that
we can
decision.
agree. But then why did you defend him at the time?
Because at the time I didn't have a problem.
I would have called him out on that bullshit.
It was his decision to make, John. He doesn't owe anybody anything.
But you
with
can
that board.
criticize him for his decision that he makes.
If I want to criticize him for it, and I didn't feel the need.
Then why stop me from criticizing him then,
When did I stop you from
or make
criticizing?
the attempt to?
No, that
It
was after the
happened-
point that well, John, that was already after the point that you and I had that falling out, and I was just poking at you because you're fun to get riled up. And that's exactly
But you keep
why
on
I did
making
it.
that
Why
claim,
did
but
But no, John, it's not a claim, and I've told you this a million times, and it's honest to God the truth. It's honest to God the truth. The reason that I fuck with you, John, is because it's fun to fuck with you. Because you
I don't
do
think
this.
that's.
You don't
that's-
think,
that's
but
not-
it is the truth. It is absolutely the truth. I swear on my fucking fiance. It is. I love her
Yeah,
more than
but
anything
you-
on fucking earth. The only reason I fuck with you, John, is because you are so easy to get going, and it's entertaining to watch you just spurg the fuck out. Because you do. All the time. The only reason I ever fucking jump in any conversation that you're in is to give you that extra poke to make you go a little farther. That's why I come out of left wing, and I talk about people I've never fucking, like when you accused me of taking up for some squirrel chick or something, I'd never known who the fuck that chick was. I didn't know who the fuck that bitch was.
Oh, Fuzztail?
All of a sudden, yeah, I don't know who the fuck, yeah, I think, yeah, Lady Fuzztail, yeah.
Yeah, she's cool.
I had no fucking idea who she was. I was just jumping on her side to make you rage, John.
That was pretty funny.
It's just like when Max was throwing fucking memes at me, and you were joining in saying, "Ha ha, we're gonna shit on you." That wasn't even about me, John. None of that was about. No, it wasn't. Max, was that about me? Are you even in?
John, that those memes were me poking fun at you, and for my entertainment.
You're blind to it, John.
So it's kind of like with the. Oh, okay. All right. I get Max's
John,
point.
John, do you know?
It's kind of
do you
like
know how? No,
hold
John.
on. No, I get
No,
Max's
John.
point.
John,
No,
I have
I'm
to
talking.
say-
No,
no,
I
John,
get Max's
I'm
point.
gonna
No,
say-
don't interrupt me.
John,
Fuck, he is. John, you've had a lot of time to talk in these past goddamn 30 minutes. Just let him get his point out.
all
All
right,
right.
now, John.
Go ahead.
John, you remember how I said I joked that you're a serial killer? All those serial killers in the slasher films that were making fucking like weird things at beardmoe's avatar, those were you. I was basically saying you're the Spurg version of a slasher serial killer going after beardmoe.
Why do you
There's
think I
one
was
problem.
retweeting them and liking them? I
There's
didn't
one
even
problem
respond to them because they were funny.
There's one problem with this. Max Sand pretends to be a spurgy serial killer all the time.
Yes, but like, John, if you don't get the John, if you don't get the point I just made, then I'm done.
No, I do get.
I'm
Hold
done.
on. I do get the point.
Go back to my
Max.
game.
No, Max.
Go back to my game.
All right, you go back to your game. I really do get Max's point. It's kind of like how when those guys dressed up as KKK rally members went to Trump's protest to Trump's rally to protest, they were doing it ironically. They weren't being racist.
I think that's a really reaching analogy there. I think it was more just the fact that he knew you would fall for it, and you would be like, getting behind it.
I retweeted and liked a tweet that I thought was funny.
I retweeted and liked tweets too because I thought they were funny too. But the whole thing was to get a reaction out of you, John. That's the whole point.
But that's
the point I've been saying.
Nobody
from the
gets
beginning.
the joke. Nobody gets the joke.
No, I got the joke quite fine. Max got the joke. Sarge got the joke. Everybody on my fucking side of the fence who was talking to me and laughing.
I thought you said that there wasn't any side of the fence you have, though.
On my side of the fence, I mean by my friends, the people who were also laughing at you.
Right. So you admit then that there is a little clique you're part of.
A clique? John, I have friends, yes.
Why are you so afraid to admit you were in a clique? I don't get this.
It's not a clique. I have friends. I talk to these friends.
Correct.
Okay, sure. Fine. It's a clique, John. But it's not like we're some fucking force, like, dastardly in the back, thinking of the next thing we could do to get that evil John Kelly.
You want to have such role-playing experiences where you play super villains because you're shitposting on Twitter.com. That's fine by me.
It wasn't even that, man. They would laugh at my shit posting, but they just get there to chat. I'm the shit poster. I've always been a shit poster. I always will be a shit poster. Actually, not anymore because I don't even do Twitter, because every time I do a fucking account, you ban them.
You're assuming it's me.
John, you've admitted to it to me, first off. Secondly...
Prove it.
Well then, John... Why at the exact same time my Based Husbando account got banned, somebody else all of a sudden had to delete a whole bunch of tweets only about you that also posted that same picture that I did?
I can control who people report.
Mm-hmm. Of course you can't, John.
No,
and
what do you expect me to do?
No, I can't prove it. Okay, fine. I can't prove it was you. But the only times my account ever received any kind of marks, I permanently banned both of them, was because I was poking you.
The first time I remember your account got banned, it was right after I called Oliver Campbell a house nigger. And you specifically said, can someone bring me John Kelly so I can kick his teeth in?
No, I said somebody needs to kick John Kelly's teeth in.
Semantics.
No, that's not semantics. That's a very clear distinction to make. That there was me poking at you to get you to rise because I knew.
And now you're salty. Your account got banned because you made a death threat on Twitter.com.
That's not a death threat, John.
Twitter considers it a death threat.
Well, then whatever. But are you really going that route? Are you really going that route? Oh, you threatened me. Oh, I'm so terrified. No, I just think it's funny that you complain that
your accounts keep on getting banned from Twitter.com because you
don't
follow
really
the moderation of Twitter.
John, there's a weird reason why you have never been banned despite the fact that you go way too far plenty of times.
Like what?
Dude, you have flat out harassed many people. He stalked, got around
blocks.
Wait.
This is an issue of internet harassment now? And
that's what you just brought up.
You're basically saying it's okay for you to say, hold on a minute. You're basically saying it's okay for you to say that I should have my teeth kicked in, and that also you'd serve a small jail term if you could just meet me in real life. Implications just there. But for me to call people house niggers and tell people to go kill themselves, that's a problem. We got to stop that.
Yes, John, I'm pointing out your hypocrisy.
That's not hypocrisy.
That's quite literally hypocrisy.
How is
for
it
the fact that because okay, if I can't prove that it's you, fine, then that doesn't stand. But as pretty much anyone who fucking knows,
but the
real
real hypocrisy is you're justifying your shitpost to me, and then saying that it's okay for GamerGHQ to ban shitposting.
And did I say it was wrong for me to be banned?
You're complaining about it.
I can complain and not think it's right.
You can pick certain standards when it suits you and decide to discard them when it doesn't suit you. That is correct.
No, John. I can decide to ignore certain ignore certain rules, and whenever my account's banned, man up, make another account if I feel like it. Now, after the second account got banned, Twitter at that point was getting rather dry anyways because Gamergate's, just kind of garbage now. Yeah. And Twitter was pretty much garbage anyways, so I just decided, there's no point. Sure, I have an account. I don't use it.
But you kept on saying how bragging about actually how A-Team and other undesirables, as Acid Man put it in his own words, were run off the board. They couldn't just keep on making new accounts because people would identify their posting style, now wouldn't they? And they get rid of them for wrongthink.
It's his decision, just like it was Twitter's
And
decision.
is that
to
an acceptable
ban me.
decision?
Yeah. Just like it was acceptable for me to be banned for posting a picture of your supposed face shooped onto a fucking trap getting fucked in the ass by a big black dick.
I gotta admit, when I first saw that was kind of disturbing.
Yeah,
But then someone
that's why
showed
I
me.
did it.
Here's the thing. Once someone showed me the actual original shop it was from, I laughed. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was a pretty funny shoot. It took me a whole of like 3 minutes, but it was fun as fuck. Although I do say, man, you've got some pasty ass skin. If that is legitimately you, I had to like do some color correction to get it to match. Some pretty heavy color correction, but
I like that you have this amount of dedication to a photo that's allegedly me.
It's just I thought it would be funny because I knew you would get a reaction like, "Oh my God, that's disgusting," which you've just confirmed that in fact was the case.
Oh no, someone's grossed out that they saw a dude getting fucked by another dude in the ass.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that's.
Yeah, so horrible I got banned for it, but whatever. You know, that's the thing. Like,
you keep on saying you're not upset by that, but then you keep on bringing it up in a very.
No, when it happened, I was a little
tone.
upset, sure. But at this point, like, no, I legitimately don't mind because it did me a favor. It let me have more free time to like fucking play video games and actually do shit.
How are you going to stop me from
shitposting.
legitimately harassing people on Twitter.com though?
I don't care, John.
Then why'd you bring it up as a point?
Because it was oh God, John, you're going in circles again.
It's not circles. It's going
No,
back
it
to
is circles. You're not paying attention.
I am paying attention. You're not paying attention. That's why you're tripping up.
No, John. The reason I brought that up is because it's the whole thing. I got banned for that, and then fucking you do the very same. And you're
I don't
not
shop people.
Oh, you don't shoot people. Yeah, no, but you go out of your way to be hyperbolic. You go out of your way to stir shit, and it's fun. And I know you know it is.
Then
That's
why
you
can't
do
you
it.
allow people? Why are you so upset that other people have fun? And then I don't get it. It's just like
When did I say I was upset about it, though, John?
legitimately harassed. Come on.
Wow.
No, because
you guys did
do
not.
under
What?
the
Like
Twitter
that video
standard,
that I
you
did on
legitimately
the
harass
creation
under
of my
Twitter fucking
DIY paint
guidelines,
booth
sure.
a
What
little
do I
while
do?
ago.
That's
But what I
calling a black
hope,
man a
and
house
based on
nigger?
the reaction
What's
on
wrong with
social
that?
media,
That's
this
not
seems to be the
harassment under Twitter guidelines?
Evidently not.
No, it is. You just somehow lucked out. Now, here's the thing. The reason, and I'm pretty sure about this, and I'm not saying there's some conspiracy with you involved, but the reason Twitter doesn't ban accounts like yours and accounts that are just over the top and just absolutely crazy half the time is the fact that they know you make Gamergate, as whatever the fuck it is, look bad.
That sounds like
So they leave you there.
I know you're trying to make it out to be a conspiracy, but that sounds like a conspiracy, dude.
Yeah, maybe. Sure. We're all fucking susceptible to come up with conspiracy theories from time to time, but it legitimately doesn't make sense to me how some people could get banned for very little, and yet your account can go. And Pterodax. People like Pterodax. You know what I mean?
Not Pterodax.
Hey, in Pterodax's defense, he's had like 25 different accounts, man.
Yeah, but I mean, he comes back as Pterodax, and they just don't give a shit. They just leave it up till he does something else stupid, and then new account. But
Dude, you just broke one of the internet rules. You can't complain about Pterodax. It's kind of like it's.
No, I'm not complaining about Pterodax. I like Pterodax. I think he's hilarious.
Then why
But
did you
he
just say
does-
fucking Pterodax? I mean, like you did that thing where you say, "Oh, you're clearly upset about something," and then you go
No,
back
see,
and
and
say
this
you're
is
not.
where you don't understand emotions because you have like some weird.
No, I understand emotions, and that's
disability.
your problem. It's
No.
kind of breaking your perception of me.
John, it's I don't have it.
What?
Actually, if you talk to Max here or anybody who was in here earlier, they'll
know
tell you that I
consensus.
legitimately just said that I really like Pterodax and I think he's hilarious. Just
After complaining
maybe-
about why he keeps on having his account on Twitter.com.
No, way before, John, before you ever came in this room, we were on the conversation of Pterodax. And I was like, man, that guy is fucking hilarious.
And yet,
And I can
context of this
confirm. I
conversation.
can confirm he did say that, John.
But
And
the thing
Internet
that I'm
Guys deleted it.
saying, but I'm
but
not saying
then
that
he went back on it.
I'm
and
not
said-
saying that he should be banned because he deserves it, but what I'm saying is he, being the big player he is as a troll, being basically like the Sam Hyde of Twitter, I guess, whatever the fuck you want to say, like, that guy, he seems to be the type that Twitter would be like, holy shit, we've got to keep this guy off.
So we can
So
agree that
they-
Twitter's rules are bullshit.
Well, of course.
Yeah,
Sure.
I can agree with that.
Yeah,
Twitter's rules are
but-
bullshit. That's why the platform's dying. I agree.
But it's their choice. And
But
so
it
if
was
they
also
ban
Acid
him-
Man's choice to
Yeah.
moderate his board. So the thing is, you can say that it's his choice, and you would be correct, but that doesn't mean that you can't criticize these people for their choices and try to convince them to change, or try to convince people to leave to a different platform.
You can criticize and try all you want, but you can shit in one hand and hope in the other, but tell me which one fills up first, John.
That's a good point as well.
Criticism does very little. The
It
honest
depends.
action
It
does
depends
a lot.
on how you field it and who would feel it too. It's complicated. Like
Yeah,
if you
useful
want to point,
idiots are useful idiots, sure. That's why GG Revolt was so fucking powerful early on. There were a lot of fucking useful idiots who ran over there. But over time, a lot of the useful idiots ended up getting bored with it or got burned out because they were used. And guess what?
they weren't used. That's a conspiracy
Yeah.
theory.
Oh, God, John.
Do you know where that conspiracy theory came from?
Okay, what are you talking about? Conspiracy? Like,
Oh,
dude,
no, that legitimately is a conspiracy theory. Do you know where it came from?
what? Where?
It came from Bacon telling that to a man in green. I think I still have a video
What are you
link.
even
to it.
talking? I meant used in a very general sense.
That's
I'm
where
not talking about
the
any
idea was
specific
seeded. It was seeded
events.
through a man in green because he's such an idiot who believes whatever bullshit he's told.
John, I'm not talking about any specific events. I'm saying used in a sense of what, like you use useful idiots. Everybody uses useful idiots. That's what they're there for. Everybody has them. Every board has them. It's just, it seemed that GG Revolt had a lot more of them. Because they
GGHQ
were
actually
the...
had more.
Okay, well, whatever. I mean, you can believe what you want to believe. But in my eyes, the useful idiots were the ones who were so easily offended and ready to go to war about things. Which is why GG Revolt was fucking made in the first place. It was supposed to kill GGHQ. That was the entire thing. We'll make our own board and we'll take over.
But you already said that that was acceptable.
Yeah, it is. But the useful idiots were used to that. To that
The
go.
thing is, though, they weren't useful idiots. They're pointing out the problems that were going on with Gamergate HQ. That's the critical error you're making here. You're
That's not
basically trying to
really-
make it all about one thing when there was several things going on with Gamergate.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of what you do. You narrow everything down to a single point.
I don't
And then
narrow
argue
everything.
that point incessantly until you realize you're no longer winning an argument, so you shift to another one.
I can field multiple arguments in the same conversation. It's part of human nature.
Yeah, while leaving the other ones behind whenever you're starting to lose that portion.
That isn't true. I've already stuck to all my points in this conversation. I haven't backed down from them.
Mm.
I'm curious as what you think about the alt-right since you brought it up earlier. It's something that puzzles me. They're
I
kind
think the alt-right's retarded.
Honestly, I'm going to half agree with you. I think they have some good ideas, but it's kind of like, okay, here's one thing that I think the alt-right completely fails
The
on, right?
alt-right are the bronies of the political world.
You might. I'm not going to say that's wrong, but what I will say is that their idea of having like the white identity be subscribed to the American identity, that's just complete bullshit. It would never work. You're just basically advocating for like entire groups of people that have been here for generations to be.
The alt-right are just they are essentially, and like, they are the bizarro SJWs.
No, I don't agree with that though.
No, but John,
They are bizarre. No,
Bizarro,
don't get it twisted.
no,
They are
not
bizarre.
bizarro, as in the fact. I guess you're not a comics fan.
Oh,
Bizarro
okay,
was a
no,
Bizarro.
I get your point. Continue.
Okay. Yeah, they're the bizarro SJWs. They argue using the same tactics. They go along the same modus operandi, but just the exact opposite. They are the antithesis of the SJW, so far in the fact they are the very embodiment of the horseshoe theory, or the pendulum. They are the pendulum swing that went wider than SJW. We had look. This is what happened. You go back years ago, back to like not years and years, but like 2010, 2009, when we had the Tea Party pop up, and they swung out, and then from the Tea Party, the pendulum swung the other way, and we got the regressive left, and then from the swing back, we got the alt-right.
I don't agree with
It
the
goes
term.
farther
I don't agree with the
each
term
time.
regressive left, though. They're just still progressives.
Oh well, no. I there's a clear distinction between somebody who was a progressive in like 2010 versus somebody who considers himself a quote unquote progressive now, and that is the distinction is the regressive left. I mean, there's a clear difference between those people. When you're talking about somebody who was a progressive, politically active progressive as a lobbyist
But
in
you,
that era.
but you got out of it because you realized that the argumentation is just bullshit. It's basically
I never left my ideals. They simply moved farther left than I did.
right. But well,
I
let
didn't
me
get
give
out. They
let me
moved
give an
past
example of.
into a farther, more regressive progressivism.
I don't.
i.e.
The problem
regressive
is
left.
the problem with calling them regressive left is implying that they're trying to go backwards when they're really trying to push forward to a direction that nobody's really wants to go into.
That's going back, dude. They're trying to set back things that have been done, that have already been, like, fucking Christ. They're asking for safe spaces and segregation.
They're also asking for pedophiles. It's disgusting.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, that's why they call them the regressive left. Not everything they argue is directly regressive, but a lot of what they do is. And it's also coined because it's clever. You know, they're not progressive, they're regressive. And in a lot of ways they are, but it's a play on words. It's just a title.
I just don't agree with that line of rhetoric. It kind of just plays down
Fine,
the.
whatever, but you know who I'm talking about, SJWs then, right? So we started off with Tea Party, swung to the right, and then the pendulum swings back to the left, and in response to the Tea Party, we ended up with the New Age progressives. That make you happier? And then from there, it swung back to the right, and what do we have now? The alt-right, but they're the same thing. Just like the New Age progressives, they're just like the old fucking... they get worse each time. Every time it gets worse. So it originally started off with the Tea Party being kind of like crazy redneck people. You know, actually the Tea Party early on was actually pretty cool before it got taken over.
Yeah, I was about to. Yeah, it was.
What's her fucking name?
Sarah Palin.
Yeah, Sarah Palin.
Fuck Sarah Palin.
Yeah, no, the early Tea Party was cool. But then it swung all the way far right by Sarah Palin and her crowd, and then that swung back to the left to the progressive dipshits. And then now it's swinging back to the right, but they all have the same. They work just. I mean, you look at the alt-right now; it's the more severe version of what was happening back with the fucking Tea Party retards, and it just does that, and it's going to progressively keep getting worse and worse and worse until eventually we have fascists and fascists. That's all it is, and it's funny because the people screaming about fascists are the fascists themselves every time on both sides of the fucking fence, John.
I don't. I think it's.
See it for what it is.
There's an article. There's actually an article that was written in the course of Gamergate that I think people should read more. It was it's written by a professor. It was on Gamergate.me. You may have actually read this one. I'll see if I can get to you later, but I think that when you put things in terms of like such a four-dimensional or even like in when you put things in a two-dimensional, even four-dimensional plane, three-dimensional plane, brain fart, it kind of simplifies issues.
Does your autism let you see an extra dimension?
No. It's like you lose the nuance of each of these positions, and I don't agree with the alt-right, and I definitely don't agree with SJWs.
They're the same.
No, they're not the same. They really aren't.
Well, no, they have vastly different ideas.
Yeah.
But they operate in the exact same way.
No, that's the thing. They don't operate the same.
Oh, collectivism is very strong, and the whole idea of you must agree with what all we say or you're not true. For Christ, John, you write for Stormfront. You should know the way.
I don't write for Stormfront. Stormfront picked up an article I wrote and decided to go on it with it on their own. That wasn't me.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. I wasn't following, and I wasn't on Twitter at that point. But
Yeah.
I had heard and I had seen that you had an article on Stormfront. So
Partially correct, partially incorrect.
okay, but that's what I'm saying though. Is like I'm not saying they're the exact same people, and you're conflating that incorrectly. What I'm saying is they're yes, Nick. Yes, Nick. Exactly. What I'm saying though is like the right, like the alt-right and the SJWs are essentially two sides of the same coin. They're reactionary extremism brought on by collectivist thoughts.
I don't think it's because of collectivism. I do think that there is.
It's prejudice and collectivism personified.
Well, that's the thing about bias. People are going to naturally have biases about certain groups of people.
But not to that severe degree. The average person is not nearly as biased. And tell me if that's extremely loud. I'll turn my AC off. They're not as nearly as biased and as just extreme as either SJWs or the alt-right. They're a beast of their own. They're the same kind of people. The kind of people that get offended whenever somebody talks about a point that they find disgusting, to such a degree that they will cause a ruckus, scream and yell, call people all sorts of crazy shit, not in the poking fun sort of the way, but in the very, like, I am super offended and you are a horrible person and you are less than a human sort of way. And that's all you get from, like, the severe alt-right and the severe fucking SJW left. Yeah, is that way loud, Batman? Because I'll turn it off if you want me to. It just kind of got warm in here. Actually, I'll just open the door. I got a screen door. That works.
I have to look more to the alt-right to see if what you're saying is accurate. I haven't seen that personally. I have seen them say some stupid shit, though.
I know you're going to hate me for saying this, but if you want a good grasp of what the alt-right is, Sargon did a couple streams to where he went into alt-right streams and was talking politics, much in the same manner that you and I are. And he completely triggered them to the point that, like, they went on a warpath. And, like, because he was talking just normal, everyday, standard liberal, talking points, and not your extremist SJW types. But the problem is, when you become so polarized in a political opinion in that way, you start seeing everything in very extreme black or white circumstances. Hell yeah, nigga, get down. But like that's the problem. I think that's the root of the problem with both the alt-right and SJWs, is the fact that it's all black and white. It's all, and you must agree, or you are absolutely wrong about everything, and you are a horrible individual. And the whole stupid victimhood thing, it's on both sides. Both sides. The alt-right screams about white genocide, which is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. White genocide does not fucking exist. The left screams about privilege, which doesn't fucking exist. Not in the sense that they fucking shout it. And like I say, it's the same thing with different ideas.
The white genocide thing, the white genocide thing refers to, it's more of like the logical conclusion of multiculturalism is what they're talking about. Is it hyperbolic to use? Yes, and they know it is. That's kind of why they use it, to have that impact.
Do you think SJWs don't think what they're saying about privilege and power and how white people are evil isn't the same?
Depends on their level of knowledge of what they're talking about. If they know what they're talking about,
And do you think there aren't people in the alt-right who don't know what they think about and don't know what they're talking about and legitimately don't think there is such a thing as white genocide? Because if you're going to argue it for one side and you think it doesn't apply to the other, you might want to back up and do some research.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of like this is the problem I have with horseshoe theory. Again, it's the same kind of 2D plane that we're talking about, where there's either you have the extreme right.
I understand that it's hyperbolic, and it's not 100%. Like, I'm not saying that that's the way it is, but it's not like. All I'm saying is extremism breeds extremism of the equal and opposite varieties.
Yeah. You're talking about like Okay, actually, I can give examples of someone you're talking about who like does this sort of thing.
It's fucking Newton's law.
You're talking about Renee?
Huh? Who?
You don't. He's a guy on Twitter. He does a lot. He spurks out a lot, and that's coming from.
Oh, is he the guy that was like really fucking crazy after Cult of Vivian?
He stalks Jennifer Medina too.
No, it's Medina.
It gets fucking old because I don't like Medina, but seriously.
Yeah, no, he's one of those useful idiots. He's one I'm talking about. He's one of the types that legitimately believes. And there are people that don't legitimately believe what they're saying, but they say it in a hyperbolic manner because they want those useful idiots to turn around and they want them to actually believe. And that's the same with SJWs. Do you think that Anita Sarkeesian actually believes most of the shit she says?
Of course not. She's deliberately trying to move the Overtron window. That's exactly what she's doing.
It's the same thing on the alt-right.
Potentially. I have to look more.
There's no potential there, John. That's the way with all politics. That's even down, if you want to even take it away from SJWs and alt-right, that's the same thing between
Would you agree the
Democrats and Republicans.
Then let me have a challenge for you then.
Sure.
Would you say it's the same thing with libertarianism and authoritarianism?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, libertarian authoritarianism aren't like parties. They're not groups in a sense. Libertarian maybe a little more so, but there isn't like an authoritarian group. Like we're authoritarians, you know? Like no.
Yeah, that's the bullshit that I'm seeing with
that's more of a political descriptor more than a political group.
Yeah,
like libertarians even so, you know, it's kind of the same stupid bullshit of like libertarian is the same as like internet atheism, you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
What? Oh yeah.
Libertarian is like agnosticism.
Yeah, it's just it's not a political party of any sort. When I'm talking about like political groups and political parties, it's all the same. It's all the same. That's why it's only smart to be a centrist to make up your own mind.
I don't agree it's smart to be a centrist, though.
No, a centrist in the sense of what I'm saying is a true centrist, a true independent. And in fact, that like I make up my mind about my individual issues, how I feel they should, not based on anybody else's opinions or groupthink.
Okay, then I agree.
That's a true centrist. I'm not saying centrist as in like I'm right there between left and right. No, because actually I lean pretty heavy left. I'm actually, if you look at me in the political compass, I sit exactly where Gandhi did, as weird as that is. But,
well, you should be an independent thinker, and that's actually something I can applaud you for.
Yeah. It's just, dude, I don't even know where the fuck we started to get to this point, but like...
I just thought we'd segue to something else, since this old shit is just old shit, to be honest.
I just don't see how you don't get that, like, I never really did have much of a beef with you. It was just poking fun at the retard. That's what I do. Actually, what's the one thing I said to get in here? Into this chat originally, in the chat. Does anybody remember?
I wasn't there for that.
No, I know. No, to get into the chat, I was posting in the fucking YouTube chat because they were making fun of what's-his-face.
Yeah, I caught your message and passed it along to Craig.
Yeah, and I said, can somebody let me in? I want to poke the retard too. John, it's what I do.
I guess. I mean, I saw it was just bait, really, so I just didn't go on the stream. So
that's exactly what I was doing. Yeah, I was baiting you. You did get mad enough to post an incorrect Hangout link trying to get fucking Satan on here, but the thing is, Satan really likes me. Satan would have come on here and chilled.
But Satan's chill with everybody.
Yeah,
you can start following me
awesome.
again.
Yeah, Satan's awesome. But John, you shouldn't let people get to you so much. And like, I'm serious about this, just like I was originally. Maybe chill out. Maybe stop being so hyperbolic and trying to argue in bad faith and make shit up.
It depends on when it comes to argumentation. It's more complicated than that, unfortunately. But no,
dude.
you're not entirely wrong.
No, I know I'm not, because we've had this conversation 7 fucking times, and I love how you try to say, "Oh, you're not a friend," when we've had numerous conversations when I've got to this serious point and been like, "Dude, calm the fuck down. You're making an idiot out of yourself." Because yes, you're making an idiot out of yourself.
Well, the thing that I
In front
don't
of
get
everyone.
is why do you think it's acceptable for you to make yourself an idiot of yourself and then just go ahead and lecture me about me making an idiot about myself?
Because I don't do it to near the degree you do.
It's the same, but the principle's still the same.
No, not at all. Not at all. Everybody knows that I derive pleasure from making fun of people and poking around and having fun, and other people get enjoyment out of that, John. The vast majority of the people that enjoy watching your tweets that I've noticed, and it may just be because of the people I know, but the vast majority of people I see responding and enjoying and laughing at your tweets are laughing at you, not with you.
The
When
problem
people
is,
laugh at my tweets, they laugh with me.
not really.
I was tweeting. Oh, no.
You're not on Twitter anymore.
Yeah, I said back when.
I guess if you want to have to lose.
When I fuck with people, no, it's not really.
I
That's
get
just
people
knowing
like
my
here's the
audience.
thing. Here's the thing though. When I'm in my own circles, I get people who praise me all the time.
Because you stir shit. Yeah, no, and shit stirs will get praise.
Exactly.
But
I mean, it
the
just
thing
goes
is,
both ways. Is what I'm saying.
You do it in such a different way, though, John. You
No,
do
but
it in
the
a
thing
way
is-
that makes you look terrible. I do it in a way that fucks with people.
I guess. I mean, if you
And
want
you
to say,
are legitimately worried about your own image because you get so offended, and you come like when you came in here earlier, and you were so uptight, and you were like saying I was being
and you were deflecting
mean.
questions and
I
weren't
was-
answering them,
Yes, John, because they were leading questions.
like you were asking leading questions.
Yeah, it's because of what I do, and I know how to avoid my own tactics.
You didn't avoid them successfully. We actually went to several points of contention over this course of conversation.
The fuck are we talking about?
Bullshit.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. Fuck it. What's up, motherfuckers? How's it going?
It's going all right. We were just talking about like different political new age stuff like SJWs and alt-right. And then
Oh, fuck. Did you guys hear? Fucking Johnny found out that there's fucking double SJW agents, bro. And
you know, when I was
SJW
asking that question about Johnny Fox, I wasn't just being polemic about that. I'm legitimately asking what the fuck is wrong with that guy.
he's fucking retarded. I don't fucking
He
know,
just-
dude. Like I sit there half the
Johnny
fucking
is what you were early on, John. He's
No,
somebody
it's not
who got
even
a
that.
nice-
He's fucking, dude. He spurged because, look, homie, he spurged because fucking a certain person wouldn't want to be his internet girlfriend, and then fucking he goes off, and then when fucking he sits there, he goes on a rampage, right? And then fucking he gets a little bit of shit dropped on him. He fucking sits there and he spurgs out even more. And now he's just gonna play this, so we ignore the fucking oh, that's a fat chick fucking writing something, and fucking. He fucking sits there and cries about fucking this shit. Now he's just going all out, and then he's trying to talk Gamergate like it's an actual fucking group and shit like that. It's fucking embarrassing. And it's fucking hilarious, and I'm fucking hammered, so I'm like, I don't even give a fuck at this point.
I can
So it's
tell
like-
because you're rambling and making like the same point stretch out into infinity. We get what you're saying,
Beard
but
moe.
no, like the thing with him, his big issue is that he has delusions of grandeur. He got a little taste of the E-fame, and he thinks he's a lot bigger than he is, and he just it's hilarious. I love fucking with him.
It's such a fucking understatement, but I agree with you, Beard moe. It's fucking so true. It's fucking hilarious, and it's like,
One thing
goddamn.
that really bugs me though, because you know, I don't mind people fucking with him, but the one gripe that he has that is legitimate is the whole let's drop a nuke on Fox by making him out to be this harasser or whatever with the DM stuff.
Yeah, you know what?
That to me was overstepping
Oh,
down.
I
there.
understand, John. I understand that coming from you. I do. I completely understand that because of everything that, like, I would see you taking umbrage with that.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I
The re-
understand.
The rest of the bullshit, yeah, he needs to take a break. Like seriously, he just does
Yeah.
because he's just like beardmoe says that he's like me as I was before. I don't recall being. There's no way I could.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Nah.
early on when you started getting into the whole like come on, delusions of grandeur, where you thought for some reason that Shrek owed you a free website
I didn't
because
say
you
that.
were this
I
great
didn't
thing,
say that. I
dude.
said-
You said he was unethical because he no longer offered you a free
The
website.
reason why he took the website down.
It doesn't
was the
matter.
problem.
Like we were saying before, it's his business and his choice.
and I can criticize him for his choices.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it unethical.
I'm not having an objective ethics argument. It's bullshit.
That's not unethical, though, John. But that's what
To
I'm
you,
saying.
ethics are subjective again.
But
It's,
no, John,
it's why.
that's not
Here's the
ethical.
thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about ethics.
Let me go call Green.
Whenever it comes down to the point of you not paying for it, like if you were a paying customer, and then
you're missing the point. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
You crashed his servers trying to artificially inflate your fucking view
No,
count.
I didn't do that. No, hold on.
No, and so the logs I've seen aren't real?
The logs you saw do not paint an accurate picture.
So the full logs that I have seen, the full entire conversation stretching up to 2 days before and all the way up to a couple days after?
What logs you're looking at, may I ask?
The logs that I've seen.
From?
People that were in that group.
What group?
In that conversation.
Which conversation?
With Shrek, you, and fucking Green, I think? I don't know who it was, the other guy. The guy who was actually running the bots.
That would be, that was not Green.
Yeah, I don't remember who the fuck it was.
That was Hagar. Hagar was the, what happened was, okay, to tell you exactly
you
what
wanted
happened.
to test and see if you could inflate your fucking view count.
No, that's not what happened, because I remember that conversation very, very clearly that I had with Hagar. And
But regardless, like, look, why it happened doesn't matter, because it all boils down to the fact of...
But actually, that's what we're talking about, why it happened.
But no, what I was talking about originally is, the thing is, the man was giving you a free website that you were not paying for. At any point, since he did own the hosting company,
Did he show you the logs? Did he show you the exchange he and I had?
I don't fucking remember.
Then you really should not be talking from hearsay.
Regardless, but like I'm saying, that doesn't even matter, because he was giving you a free service that he owned, that you did something that he didn't like, therefore he didn't want to give you that free service.
He didn't like my opinions, and he took it down for wrongthing.
That is not unethical.
You can say it's not unethical, but I can still criticize for his lack of standards.
Sure, but you said it was unethical, and there's the problem, John. There's nothing unethical about that.
To you, what set of ethics are you...
period.
Okay, all right, fine. If you're going to say that there's some sort of objective standard of ethics, I want to know where your source is.
You are conflating morals and ethics, John. They are not the same thing. Morally, that was wrong to you. Morally, maybe that was reprehensible.
Are you trying to claim that ethics are objective? Are you trying to claim that objective? Okay, then if ethics aren't objective, then I can say he was unethical.
I mean, ethics...
It's why I don't bring up the ethical arguments, because it leads to this kind of autism of, like, you know, oh...
Well, it's just like you're arguing basically, like, you can sit there and argue about what's funny to one person and not funny to the other person, kind of like what John did when he got trolled.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can spin this in circles all day long.
But the thing is, like, that you can't say that's an ethical oversight, though, because it was something that he was providing you for free, that he didn't have to, and he was doing out of the kindness of his heart.
Yeah, but
and then you shat on him.
The problem is,
and he said no more.
He shat on me first, and that's your.
Okay, he's offering you a free fucking website. I think he gets a little more leeway to be shitty towards you than you do towards him.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he's spending his money on you. Therefore, yeah.
No, he...
Yes, you were a drain on him. And whenever you ended up, regardless of why it happened or how it happened, when you ended up taking...
Hold on. You're saying regardless of why and how it happened, like he can be free of any kind of wrongdoing.
No, if you would let me finish my actual sentence. Regardless of how or why it happened, you ended up crashing that server. You ended up hurting his business.
But we're resolved. Okay, firstly, keep on blaming that on me when it wasn't me who did it. It wasn't me who did it. It was
somebody who was working with you that did it.
It was somebody that I didn't... What he did was, he didn't run... What he ran was a server test on the servers, which he said wouldn't crash the servers. Now,
and you said it was perfectly fine for him to do.
No, what I said was I didn't. What my problem was okaying it, was just not stopping him. He said this is a good idea. I was like, all right, and I admit that was wrong. I should have thought better, and I admitted that.
So you're saying that?
Hold on, I'm not done yet. I apologize for that, because that was wrong of me. It was an error, my fault. Even if I didn't actually do it, it was still someone else who was in the vicinity of me, who I should have said, hey, maybe don't do that. I didn't realize that would crash the server.
And
Yeah.
you're saying that since that happened, and he was pissed that you crashed the server for you,
And that was resolved.
Son,
hold on. He redug up that old issue that me, him, and Hagar all resolved. We said everything was cool. That would no longer be a problem. He decided to bring that up again after the fact.
Okay. That still has nothing to do with the fact that that is the reason that he dropped your website.
No. You do not read the conversation me and I had when he did take it down.
Were you an asshole to him?
No, no, I wasn't. I wasn't being an asshole.
Really?
I just disagree with
Did
him.
you get into a heated argument?
No, it wasn't all that heated. We just had a disagreement.
Wasn't all that? Okay,
No.
so you had a disagreement. You ended up not reaching any kind of agreement on it, right?
So wait. So would you
All
say?
I'm saying, like, look, I don't care. Even look, if the man thought you smelled funny through the internet, he had the right to turn off your website.
He
for
does.
any
I'm not arguing that.
Yeah, and that's
I'm
the
arguing
whole
his reasoning for taking it down was shit,
Yeah, but it's not unethical.
which is why I don't like making ethical arguments.
But that's what I'm saying, though. That was the whole argument you threw out there. You tried to say he was an unethical guy. You tried to smear his name as much as you could when he took down your website, because under the guise of, oh, he is unethical, and now because he is, we maybe should also be looking into anything he's attached to, i.e. gamer.
And yeah, I still stand by that. I don't trust that guy at all. He's been caught lying multiple times. He's done a whole bunch of bullshit, and he's not as good as because he's good.
No, he's not that great, and actually he's no longer part of Lewd Gamer.
Well, that's on him. I had nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm. No, you didn't have anything to do with it. I know. I'm
Right.
not blaming you for it. I know
Well,
who
if
had
you
something
want
to do with it.
well, I'll give you one point then. To say that to make an ethical argument about anyone, it's kind of bullshit. It really should
John,
be.
it's what you do. How
Well-
many of your Medium pieces are based around making ethical arguments about people?
Previously, I stopped doing that because it's unconvincing.
Yeah, because it's fucking bullshit, John, and you just make up bullshit. And
Well,
fucking,
again, that
fucking
just goes back to the whole thing about
hyperbole.
it's about ethics. It doesn't actually work.
And I don't care.
That
about
applies to anyone.
GG is not about anything. It never was. GG was about whatever the individual who was interested in Gamergate wanted it to be.
Exactly, and I thought people were interested in ethics, but it turns out that that was a lie.
Weren't you the one arguing about it's not about ethics?
Yes, he was.
Yes, I was. I did argue that, and I
Well,
specifically
why
know-
would you try to appease to ethics then if you thought it wasn't about ethics?
to clarify that it's not just about ethics.
Because John didn't really care about getting anything done with the Medium pieces. The vast majority of the things John did was for attention.
That's not true.
Really?
It's not true that I did things just for attention.
Well, there's a reason I'm about 90% dead on the money about political calculus, is the fact that fucking I was deep in the world of actual politics, not this pseudo-political bullshit that everybody wants to talk about with their Reddit friends, none of this fucking poll conversation shit. I worked in actual passing laws, lobbying, and fucking actual activism for years. I know what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to politics.
Right. But we also know, but that doesn't really have to do with the whole ethics versus non-ethics thing. It's because
No,
it's like,
because the ethics versus non-ethics thing was just it was the useful idiots thing. You start creating a wedge. You create a wedge, you tear it apart. People got bored. Myself, I got bored of Gamergate because the useful idiots started getting too useful.
and you see why pushing the whole ethics thing was kind of bullshit in the first place. Like, the problem was with the ethics
When
thing.
did I say
instead of
it
using
wasn't?
No, but that's the thing.
Okay, John, but you're arguing against nobody.
I don't get your argument then. Why was wrong with me saying he was unethical if ethics don't matter?
To Gamergate, John.
So they do matter.
In life, sure. Ethics are important. Yeah.
Then maybe people should be ethical.
They have the choice to if they want.
Well, exactly. People can choose not to adhere to ethics, but you can be criticized for your lack of standards if you so choose to do so.
I mean, anybody can be criticized for anything, sure.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean it's effective. But the main
That's the
reason
thing.
you are
If you're just
never
going to be
writing
hung
these
up over a
articles,
word
John,
such as ethics, then that just
you're the
occurs
one
to
hung
you.
up on the word, John.
You're the one who keeps
All this-
bringing it up by saying it was unethical.
Yeah, because you were the one using the word unethical,
And
John.
and
That's
we've
the
already
whole
agreed.
point,
We already
bro.
agreed. We've already agreed. We've already agreed. It only matters to certain people, and it only
Yes,
appeals
John,
to certain
and
people.
you've stretched this argument again into an area that it never even was fucking supposed to be in.
You were the one who was trying to claim that it's unethical, and you weren't even given a reason why. You're just saying, "Oh, well, it wasn't ethical because I say so."
John, this isn't a debate.
Well, sorry you feel that way.
I'm sorry you think everything in the world is a debate.
Not everything in the world's a debate. I mean, we just hadn't. I don't consider this a debate. I just consider this an argument between you and I over disagreement that we don't really. It doesn't matter if we
No,
agree or not on this
it's
issue.
not even a disagreement because I don't even get a chance to fucking say anything before you conflate it to something else completely. Shift the conversation and change it to something that you can try to control. John, I know your tactics. We've done this a million times.
And everyone in every conversation over disagreement does try to control the conversation. It matters how much personality they can see
I
and
just
how
want the
good the
fucking
rhetoric is.
conversation to move on, and I'd much rather other people be talking as well.
All right. Well, what do you want to talk about then?
I don't give a shit.
All right. Well, that's it. That was an open-ended question. It wasn't just for you.
Jesus. Let's talk about legitimate politics or something. Yeah, go.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because I was going to say I can tell that you were involved in politics somewhat outside, the online world.
Yeah.
Because I'm old school too. Let's put it this way.
So you're saying you're better knowledgeable than ethics and games journalism?
I was talking about actual politics, not. But yeah, just to see where you're
Beardmoe, what are you doing? What are you attacking right now?
Oh, sorry. That was me. I've got
grinding coffee.
No, I've got a screen door thing that is Velcro. Oh. It's one of those magnetic screens you can walk through the middle.
Oh, I see.
I was listening. I was kind of
infomercials.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all right. That's the whole thing. When he was talking about the alt-right and one ideological group over another, and I made this point in the side chat. Do you think for a minute, like the alt-right, and I guess we're talking about, would you say Milo would be a good example of somebody who represents?
No, not at all.
Who's somebody?
Milo's not as much the alt-right as he is just the right.
No, I don't even agree with that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a measure for how you're seeing, because politics is about perspective too, because all of these divisions they have some basis in reality as far as people's sensibilities and.
No.
They do tend to be arbitrary at times. So pick somebody who's the alt-right.
Milo is just a kid.
Stormfront.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I would say Stormfront would be
Stormfront is the hive of the alt-right.
This is the problem I have with the alt-right.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of too. But I'm trying to get a measure of what you consider it, so I can translate it.
Here's the best way I can translate it. Think if a bunch of Redditors went to poll and still had the Reddit mentality.
I mean, no. It's the alt-right is not even. Poll is. Here's the thing, John. Every time you talk about Chans, I could tell that you're definitely a new fag. You haven't been around for that long in Chans. Because, you're talking. Okay, not only do I have extensive political.
Then feel free to correct
experience.
Then
I've been on Chans since fucking what? I got on Chans in 2008.
Beach.
Oh shit!
Beach.
Later. Oh snap!
Hold on, Beach. Is that you I see out there in the tall grass?
That's right, motherfucker. I'm here. Try and come and get me. Try and come and get me.
I lost what the fuck I was saying.
You know that groups like the neo-Nazis have been on the American scene in post World War II since Rockwell, right?
The alt-right is
so it's not anything new.
No, it's not. It never is.
Yeah,
it's just the new generation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the new generation of the same retards.
Pretty much. I see a lot of this is just same with the SJWs.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're the same.
They're the rebranding of what was back in the day called the New Left.
The Red Scare and shit.
Yeah, well, the New Left, which would be 60s, 70s. So kind of a rehashing of that and whatnot.
And you go back farther from there, the fucking suffragettes. And if you go back, I mean,
yeah, well, the Jacobins and the conservatives and the
same
French
with
Revolution.
right wing. You can just keep going back. It always it's just repeating. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just the new generation, the same idiots. And actually, if you look at it politically, a lot of it too, or actually not politically, not like socioeconomically, it tends to be the children. Like, okay, the SJWs right now are the very children of those crazy fucking batshit cunts that were burning bras. The fucking alt-right right now are the same fucking children of those crazy fucking, like, racist batshit fucking, like...
Yeah, reactionaries during the Reagan era.
And it's a very... And you see the people that cluster in the middle tend to be from families that have always clustered in the middle. Like, your political compass, a lot of the times, if you have a strong family life, comes from your family.
That's a big problem I have.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's actually why my involvement in the Democratic Party is an institution of expressing political power, if you will, collectively, comes from my family. I mean, my grandfather was actually a wobbly. He was a union organizer back when unions were illegal.
Yeah. And John, before you get all uppity about me saying that, I'm not saying every individual is a product of their raising by their family. What I'm saying, though, is the vast majority of people who are remotely politically minded do tend to side on the same side that their family and all their family has for generations.
Just like you get any of your other values.
Yeah.
Well, of course, yeah, that's where you're going to get your values from, is from your parents.
And that's ultimately what political views come down to, your oughts and your sensibilities and your culture and your background and whatnot.
Just to show you that it's not 100%, John, as you say, I am a big, bearded, burly dude that likes to fuck a man who pretends to be a woman, who was raised by legitimate cowboys. And when I say legitimate cowboys, I mean, without doxing myself, my family has held world records in rodeo for years.
Yeah, so old school cowboys, probably in the Southwest or somewhere like that.
Somewhere like that.
Yeah, something like that. The question, what I really wanted to come down to, especially with like Gamergate, do you consider, what are your thoughts on freedom of speech?
Mine?
Yeah, you pretty much support it, right? In general principle.
I think in general principle, yes. Although I do recognize that there is there is a limit to free speech because... Of
course there is. No rights are absolute. We can stipulate that. No rights are absolute. They're balanced against other rights and the need to maintain a civil society. I think.
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
On free speech, I generally I have a very strong stance in freedom of speech, except on certain things like child pornography. I cannot stand it. Yeah.
Well, that's exploitation.
Well, it's not speech.
That's exploitation. That's exploitation of the vulnerable, which we generally don't tolerate in our society. So that's not freedom. Yeah. So that's not freedom of speech, really. But okay, let's narrow it down a bit. What do you think of no platforming?
I think in general it's stupid.
Hates no platforming. He hates no platforming.
You hates it.
What do you think? I generally.
Okay, so right now, let me set it up first, and I'll let you go with this scenario. You kind of stipulate, and I think we can get kind of a general consensus that the quote unquote SJW contingent kind of rules the school as we speak, like in campuses in the United States and
it's been
other of the West. I'm willing to stipulate to that.
Yeah. For second purposes, yeah. That's accurate.
Okay, so that we'll go with that. I think we can, especially with all the news items, that's where this no platforming thing is being in the news. Now you see no platforming is suppressing, you see it as suppressing the free exchange of ideas, which is antithetical to what a university is supposed to be about, right?
Correct. Let me put it this way. I do not like Milo. I'm not a fan of his for a lot of reasons. But
I'm not asking you to support anybody in particular.
Gotcha. But I'm just saying that what he's doing with the college campuses by forcing them to basically buckle down, it's like through some sort of Title IX sort of thing, he's actually doing a service there.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I
like Milo.
I
like him because he's provocative.
I like him for that reason. I dislike him for a lot of other reasons. But
I don't like his politics. I like his style.
Yeah, well, he's putting his ass on the line. I'll give him that.
Okay, he is.
Yeah, so
I'm surprised.
He's not I don't have as much respect for him as I would say William F. Buckley, but he's a young guy. He's got time yet.
He's no Hitchens.
Yeah. What do you think would happen? And so you hear, can I just get you just for the time being for, alt-right, or let's call it the cultural right, that Milo would be a symbol of that, or at least representative of that? Cultural right, not alt-right.
When he's not flip-flopping to libertarianism, I would say he's of that disposition.
Okay. What do you think would happen if the roles were reversed? If people of Milo's persuasion ruled the school, so to speak?
It could lead to a situation where you have certain other voices being stamped out for illegitimate reasons.
Right.
That's correct.
So the point is, and what we're having out, and we I'm not going to try to open up the Allison rap thing for now. Let's just leave that aside, but we're probably going to touch on it.
Yeah.
Given that, why would you carry water for people, that would, even though they're the ones fighting for it, when you know damn well, and in the past too, college campuses weren't always these bastions of leftism. They were very strictly controlled as far as like who could speak, and you wouldn't have. You go back not too that long ago, you wouldn't have like a trans person speaking about trans issues or whatever, or even leftist politics. So there's a historical precedence for that. So don't you think that there's a limit to supporting their piece, to carrying these people's water?
Which people's exactly?
The cultural right. In this case.
It depends. Is there a limit to... I'm trying to think of... Is there a limit to pushing their agenda or their view?
Right. In other words, where does it end?
If they start advocating against free speech, for example, one thing that even though I support Trump, one thing he's dead wrong on is this notion that because terrorism exists on the internet and we need to track it down, that's an excuse to enable censorship laws like CISA on the internet.
Okay.
That I'm totally against. I'm not in favor of that. That should not be allowed. It doesn't matter it's coming from the right. What matters is you're suppressing people's rights on the premise of a boogeyman. It's another vector of censorship that the left tends to use online harassment as their boogeyman. The right has been using the war on terror as their boogeyman to censor people's rights. I do not agree with that.
That kind of gets back to the point that beardmoe was bringing up. That's kind of where I'm leading it. It is kind of I'm left of center. I'm a liberal Democrat, easily defined as such, because that's just where I happen to fall. I don't have a checklist or anything.
I'm technically a dino.
Oh, Democrat in name only?
Yeah,
you were talking about being a
Democrat, it's weird because the political compass is one of those things that if you look at the political compass, it doesn't say everything. If you want to get down to what I am politically, actually, I am socially liberal, fiscally conservative.
Okay. Yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah.
If it was back in the early 80s, late 70s, we would have called you one of the, kind of like a PJ O'Rourke conservative. Republicans who smoke pot.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
that kind of thing. Yeah, I grew up in California too, so I knew a lot of that's pretty much what Republicans were back in the day, at least around there. I kind of lost track. Anyway, the point is that what you need to keep in mind, and this does kind of dovetail into the Allison Rapp thing, tangentially, mind you, is, are you carrying water for the cultural right by just getting a scalp that they can hang on the wall, saying, yeah, we got one? Even though, and I will, if you want to argue about this point, that if not by law, in principle, the freedom of speech is put on the chopping block when you got this other person who is in that same cultural right, so to speak, that's this champion of free speech. How do you square the circle on that?
Well, when it comes to like situations like Allison Rapp, she has the right to pontificate her views, even if they are disgustingly advocating for child pornography. That shouldn't be criminalized. But that doesn't mean that other people can't use their speech to counter her speech. And if she's representing a company that is not in line with those views, like Nintendo, which is marketing to children, and she's using her public presence, her LinkedIn, her Twitter, etc., and she's basically putting a mark on the company. The people who, consumers, the general public, have every right to use their speech to counter hers and also to contact the company.
Would anyone have known? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, you're just saying that makes you such a hypocrite, John.
Why does that make me a hypocrite, though?
Because we're tired. Well,
you hate the left. You hate the SJW leftist for the same reason. It's the exact same tactic you're using against her.
No, it's not. It's not the same thing, because
it is absolutely the same thing. 100% the same thing. She is wrong thinking, and regardless of how degenerate it is, and I'm not saying, because trust me, it's degenerate as fuck. It's shitty. But what you're saying is because of her beliefs, she should not be allowed to work with that company.
No.
Yes, that is exactly what you said, John. It's exactly what you wrote. It's exactly what you've been saying. That because she believes, even if she does, that they should decriminalize it, that she should not be working at Nintendo, that they should get rid of her. That makes you a hypocrite, because you think it's stupid whenever SJWs do that, because they think that they're able to say this, or they are doing wrong think. They think something that we find disgusting, and a lot of people find disgusting. Therefore, they should not have their job, and we're going to try to get them to lose it. That makes you a hypocrite, whether you want to admit it or not, John.
No, because I'm not lying.
They aren't either.
No, that's the thing.
But that's the thing. No, it's opinion. You don't lie about opinions. It's all opinion. Your opinion is that it's wrong. A lot of people's opinion is that it's wrong. Sure, it's a consensus thing. Still a fallacy if you want to go that route, John. Either way. The same. You have to apply the same standards, both sides. And if you apply them evenly, you are just as equally guilty of the same bullshit.
The standard I've applied, and you can draw an equivalency if you like, but the standard I've applied consistently, even since the very start of like this Gamergate stuff, right? Because that's when this issue came up for me when it came to the store stuff. It's if you're criticizing someone for things that are relevant to their job, such as maintaining their presence as a PR agent, or something or shitting on their readership, like if you're a journalist, for example, or something like that.
Let's go specifically to Allison Rapp. What's hers?
She is a PR agent who is mixing her advocacy with her professional work.
How?
She's using her public Twitter, which she uses for her official dealings with Nintendo, as also her place for advocacy, and she's also linking that with her LinkedIn and associating the two.
So the guy okay, say the guy that came up, do you think it was right for the guy that came up and made ooking noises at those people, those leftists, and they found out who he was and they got him fired at some oil field when they were protesting? Do you think that was okay?
Which guy? You have to give me more context on that. I'm not familiar with the case.
Okay, essentially, there were these leftist protesters at one of those fracking places doing a protest. And this guy walked up to the protesters and started making fun of them, used the word nigger, ooked at them, stuff like that. They found out where the guy worked, which was at another oil field nearby for the same company. And they contacted his employer, and they got the guy fired. Would you say that's wrong?
That was the thing that ICE talked about, right?
I'm not sure.
Based on what you told me here, and I think it is the guy that I talked about because it was a very similar search.
Actually, no, yeah. I think I did. Yeah.
Right. Was he representing the company when he was doing that?
I mean, he was on his company's property. As an employee. He may not have been as an employee when he was there, but he was an employee, and he was on their property.
The question is if he was. That's
I see you're stumbling at that here, John. It shouldn't be that hard to make a distinction. It's a yes or no. Is it wrong that they went after the guy, not knowing at that very time, not knowing that he was an employee, but they found out he was. Once they found out he was an employee, they thought, oh man, this guy is a racist. We should get him fired, and they fired him. Do you think it's right for them to do that?
Well, if they're specifically calling him a racist when he was just mocking them, then...
No, he wasn't just mocking them. He was legitimately being racist. You can watch the videos. He's boldly a racist dude. Period.
Well, that does...
Niggers. He's a racist.
That does strike me as unprofessional bullshit, to be perfectly honest. I would not want my employees to be doing something like that, to be perfectly honest.
Okay, so you're on the same side as the SJWs when it comes to that. That's fine. But that's the thing, John. You are the same in that. It is the exact same. You were saying, because in the stupid caveat that you're coming up with about she has tweeted about Nintendo stuff on her thing, and she also has tweeted about this other stuff because it's also her private thing. It doesn't matter, John. She has an opinion that in no way was connected with Nintendo. In no way.
No, it absolutely was. She was, again...
No, dude, okay, where in the... No. Account aside, that opinion, that piece she wrote was never intended for Nintendo.
It was still linked up with her LinkedIn, which is part of her social media presence.
Yes, John. So are you saying that, you still treat the real world with the same as you would be treating the online world in this, right?
Like I said, it's unprofessional bullshit that guy did, and you can be fired for unprofessional bullshit.
But is it okay to be fired for unprofessional bullshit while not on the job, not in uniform, and not directly representing a company?
No, but that wasn't the scenario you gave me.
That's what happened with Allison Rapp.
No, that wasn't what happened.
The fact that she happens to have the fucking... Dude, if you could piece shit together, you're basically saying... that if it was on any... No, shut the fuck up. Let me finish. You're saying that if there was any way that you can link through any of her social media profiles, if they were also linked to her Twitter, which was linked to Nintendo in any way, or her LinkedIn. So if any of her social media profiles were linked to her LinkedIn, then all of a sudden you are now able to get her fired from her job because she said something in one of those social media profiles that doesn't fit in line with what the company believes. That's exactly what you did. No, that's not the real world, John.
That is how the real world works. Every job I've ever applied to always said,
that's actually illegal for them to go and look for that and to fire you for that in most states. The vast majority of states, that is boldly fucking illegal.
Is that the same case for PR agents?
Yeah. Same case for any employee. Any employee, John. It's illegal for them to go out of their way to look for stuff that they did not on the company's dime, outside of work.
That is on the company's.
No, it's not, John. It's not. It's a social media post. That is not an official Nintendo.
She is officially representing.
No. She works for Nintendo. She is not Nintendo. John, you know this, and you're being hyperbolic and you're stretching things. This is what I say. This is why I say you make bullshit up to get the attention. You make bullshit up to get your point across in the way you see it, but you don't use actual logic. You use stupid bullshit, and you stretch the truth to such a degree that you can then try to make a compelling argument to that. But by saying that it tangentially, because she wrote something for a a college paper or whatever the fuck she wrote it for, a college thing she did years ago, and now she works for Nintendo, and she happened to say a couple things on Twitter, maybe within the time she was working for Nintendo, fine, on an account that she may have said some stuff about working for Nintendo on, but is in no way a Nintendo account, then no, it's not right to say that she should be fired for that, no matter how fucking disgusting the shit she is saying is. You just wish it was that way because you're a fucking prude, John.
What? That's okay. The prude part is completely off base. You yourself admitted that this is not something that's acceptable.
I know, I'm just poking at you at this point, but no, like seriously, it's bullshit, and you're stretching. You're basically you're politicking. You're being a fucking.
It's not politicking.
Untrustworthy. No, you absolutely.
It's not politicking to say that someone that's representing a children's company, using the same company profile that she also uses for her business, should also not mix her advocacy with her business. That's going to make
she doesn't.
She does.
She doesn't. No, John.
She uses that account.
There's no mixing. See, that's what I'm saying. You're being tangential and stretching.
It's not tangential. It's how she represents Nintendo and how she pushes it.
She was not representing Nintendo with those remarks. Did you see a copyright of Nintendo TM on the side?
It does not matter.
Did you see a copyright of Nintendo TM on the fucking tweet?
That's a red herring from what we're talking about. When you mix your advocacy with your professional work, you are representing the company in that capacity, and you're mixing the two together. You cannot have that. And also, to make a parallel point that Nikki brought up, and she's wrong most of the time, but she's right on this one. She also works with children, and you're trusting someone who works with children who's advocating for lower ages of consent and decriminalization of child pornography to be associated with, to work with those children as well. That is not just stretching bullshit or hyperbole. That is the reality of the situation.
No, it's straight up fear mongering.
It's fear mongering and being.
Was it fear mongering when? Was it fear mongering?
Yes, it's fear mongering because nothing she said or nothing she has done that's known has put one child in danger.
She's put all children at danger by advocating.
Oh God, John, do not go down that.
Yeah, that's some red scare level bullshit. I'm sorry.
It's not red scare level bullshit.
Yes, that is the most Marxist thing I have ever heard come out of your fucking mouth, John.
You can say it's Marxist or whatever, but it doesn't change what I said.
It is Marxist. She did not put a single fucking child in danger. Are you kidding me?
We already talked about previously how SJWs move the Overtron window, and that's exactly what she's doing.
You literally just earlier, when I was being hyperbolic and talking about you harassing people, like, oh, really? We're going to talk about online harassment? So now
online harassment doesn't exist, though.
Yeah, okay. So how does talking about what she thinks put children in danger, jackass?
Because child pornography is a real thing.
What? But she, oh my God, she expressed an opinion?
No, it's not her opinions. It's her actions.
What action did she take to fucking...
Advocacy is an action.
That's not advocacy, buddy.
It is advocacy.
No, and advocacy is not action.
Is it political or not? I mean, you always said down to political reasons.
Listen, advocacy is agreeing with something and saying, I think this is a good thing.
That's what she did.
No, activism is action. Notice the words there. Active.
So
that's not activism.
Action in and of itself.
No, just saying, like, espousing your opinion is not action. activism and what most people think.
But you can be
activism.
criticized for your opinion. And you
Most
can't
internet
make your
activism isn't even activism, John.
If you act as unprofessionally as she does, and you go ahead and represent the company, which she does as a PR agent, and you do such
when she's on the job on official accounts,
and that is an official account. Yes,
no,
she's
that's
associated.
not it. Okay, really? Show me your Twitter account. Send me your Twitter account right now. Send me your Twitter account. No. Putting who she works for on her profile does not make that an official account.
That is tying social media presence with your work.
No, but that is not making an official account, and that is illegal to fire somebody for, John.
You can say it's illegal,
no,
but
it is illegal.
But
it's not that I'm saying it. It is illegal.
I'm not an expert in the laws of it, and companies.
Yeah, of course you're not, John. That's why you're arguing the stupid fucking point.
You're asking me whether it's right or wrong. You didn't ask me for my legal opinion. I can't give a legal opinion because I'm not an expert in law. So if you want to talk to somebody who wants to know the legalities of it, talk to a lawyer and then bring those facts to me.
He's not a lawyer, but he's a paralegal.
There you go. If you want to ask about the legalities of it, ask him. I'm not a legal expert in this. You can ask me about my opinions on whether or not. The stance that I have is that she can be free to use her speech and do that. But if she associates her company with that, there is going to be consequence with it in a public eye of the image. And in the public eye,
she didn't associate that with the company. You did. You did, John.
She did that herself. She put it up there for all to see.
No, John.
Then why
you are the one that did it. She happened to have the word Nintendo on her account because everybody knows.
People found out about this before I did and made that connection themselves.
Yes, John, but you're the one that publicized it. You're the one that blew it up.
Bingo.
You are the fucking
others were able to do it
themselves. John.
There were
you are the Red Scare. You are the SJW.
You can say
are
that.
The alt-rights.
At this point.
It's the same fucking thing, and stop with your fucking fallacy bullshit, John.
May I ask a question?
Go for it.
When was the first time you heard the name?
The first time I heard the
name?
name?
And knew who this person was. Yeah.
I heard some people talking about.
You have that excellent mnemonic memory.
The first time I wouldn't say it's mnemonic. I do forget things.
Not demonic, mnemonic.
I
don't know. You could make a. I don't know. I'll let the theologians make that distinction.
I said mnemonic, not demonic.
Okay.
Anyway, the first time I heard about it was some people were talking about.
No, not it. When did you hear? When was the first time you heard knew who Allison Rapp was?
The first time I knew of Allison Rapp was when people were talking about Allison Rapp, like, oh, she's just a PR agent, and no, people were disputing whether or not she was a PR agent, and it turned out to be bullshit because that's what she is. I pointed that out to him. That was the first time it happened. Weeks before I found out about this other thing.
Exactly. Thank you. You just made my point for me.
What was your point?
Knew who she was. She was already on your target list.
Target list?
Yes.
What does it matter?
Isn't this?
That seems to be.
It matters. It matters.
But that's not a substantive argument.
Yes, actually, it is. It's the timeline, and it is important.
Because she had wrongthink and the fact that she believes SJW ideals. And so you found eventually
I believe there was
that
something
one
about
thing,
a game, too.
Yeah, and you found that there was that one thing that you thought, oh man, this will definitely drive up, this will point out how terrible this woman actually is to people. And so you found
you got it. You have it wrong. It's not that I just found this person wanted to get gone. I saw what she was saying, and there was no other option for me.
Okay, so you're going on the record now that your first your first knowledge of Allison Rapp is you just happened to discover that there was this employee working for Nintendo, and that her paper and her tweet dropped into your lap, and that's the first time you heard of her.
That's not true. I already established that wasn't the case.
That's actually what my point is.
But that point would be incorrect. The first time I heard about her was when people were disputing whether or not she was a PR agent.
Who was a chief agent that publicized her paper and her tweet, in your estimation? Why did people know about it?
If I recall correctly, Mamba and Lo Ping were actually talking about it before I was.
Okay. So there were other parties involved.
There were other parties involved, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
how did they discover her paper? Did it just somebody send them a manila envelope and slide it under their door?
You'd have to ask those individuals.
It's mostly just there are always people digging at SJWs. Yeah. The thing it started with, there was an SJW that had espoused some opinions that people didn't like, and they worked for a company that people did like, and therefore they dug into that person's life. They found a couple posts with a couple pretty, disgusting things, and then showed it to a person they knew would drum up the biggest scare tactic fucking thing he could to make a big deal out of it.
They didn't contact me.
Well, whatever, regardless, you ended up finding it, and then what you did is you drummed up the biggest scare tactic fucking thing you could to try to make people go, oh my god, look at this horrible woman, she's putting babies in danger. When all she did was fucking write a paper about her fucking opinions, which are horrible and wrong.
Professional account.
No, John, she did not. That's not a professional account. That's her personal account. That she just happens to have the word.
You keep on saying personal account, but you cannot call a Twitter account personal ever. Everything you say and do on Twitter is public. Netscape even tried to challenge me on this on a stream, and he had to.
I'm not saying private, you dipshit. I'm saying personal.
Here's the thing.
It's personal, not professional. Professional means directly linked and a part of a company.
All right, here's the thing.
Your professional life is your work life. It's not like, look, I can have a profile. Say I worked for fucking Dickies Sports, right? I could put works at Dickies Sports in my fucking profile and turn around and be like, God damn, why do we need WNBA? Nobody wants to watch a bunch of big, tall black women running around doing basketballs. You could try to get me fired from Dickies Sports all you want, but that had nothing to do with Dickies Sports. Despite the fact that the name Dickies Sports just happens to be in my fucking profile, it doesn't make me directly representative of them at that point because I'm not acting as an employee. I'm acting as an individual on my own individual account that just happens to have their name on it. Because
why do you have your company on your account?
Fucking so many people do.
Then they're completely irresponsible by doing that.
No, John.
Yes, they are. It's a matter of professionalism.
So you're saying because people like you exist that are willing to drag up fucking underhanded tactics to make them look way like, well, not even worse, but just drag up bullshit about their lives and point it out to their fucking employers, because people like you exist, that nobody should be able to do that? That nobody should be able to say who they work for? Do you want every person in the world to be in the dark?
No, the standard should be people shouldn't mix their job with their personal accounts and their advocacy and stuff like that, because
John, but you don't work. Makes it easy for you.
I do so much more work than you know.
Really? How much do you get paid for it?
Does that matter?
Yeah, actually, that does.
Well, you're the one who's basically saying that you basically quit your field of political activism to go into your own thing, so I don't see any reason why that's a valid point of criticism. Like, we can play personal.
I quit the political field and I still work and I make money.
It's not valid.
Can I jump in and kind of provide an example of what beardmoe is talking about here?
Go for it.
Okay. So I worked for a grocery chain for quite a while where I live, and in the specific department that I work in, there's a dress code. You know, you have to wear a certain uniform because I work with food. And basically the rule is, once you punch in, you're supposed to be in uniform, and you don't get out of uniform until you either go to the bathroom because, you know, you don't want to get piss all over your uniform and get spread germs, or you punch out. And while I'm in that uniform, I am representing the company because I am on the clock. I am being paid to do my job, and if I fuck up, they will fire me. As soon as I'm punched out and I'm no longer in uniform, I am no longer representing that company. So when Allison Rapp is no longer on the clock and she's using her own account to do whatever activism or advocacy she likes, she's no longer representing the company at that time.
And your entire argument, too, also can be pushed into the world. Like, say, John, you had a Facebook, right? And say you worked for this one company.
I'll give you a better
somebody. No, just let me finish. Let me finish this. Say you worked for Kroger's, right? And seems like a job you would get. Sorry, had to make a jab. All right, so say you work for Kroger's, and then somebody who you work with at Kroger's took a picture of you while you're in the uniform, tagged it, and it ends up on your profile. So now people can see that you work at Kroger's. It's there clearly listed. There's a picture of you in a Kroger's uniform on your profile. You say some shit about somebody else in town who happens to shop at that Kroger's, who you really don't like, but it's on your own personal time. Somebody finds that, shows your boss, you get fired. Is that right?
Is that right at the boss?
No, is it right that they singled you out? Is it right that you should be fired for that, period? Should you be fired for that? Because you made an opinion, had nothing to do with your work, but it's clearly obvious you work for that company because it's right there, clear as day, on your fucking profile. You in uniform, doing your job right there. Checking customers out, bagging their groceries.
Well, those are the consequences of my actions. I own it. I mean,
you're gonna die on that hill, ain't you?
The better example of the field would be...
You agree with the SJWs?
Well, it's not a matter if I agree with the SJWs or not. The reality is...
You agree with their tactics. You 100% agree with their tactics if you believe that.
I don't see...
Well, you know what they say, there's no bad tactics, only bad targets.
Let me address that. Actually, that's a good quote to bring up because a lot of people get that wrong. It's the latter part that's the real issue. Because what Movie Bob said was that basically, if someone does something, if someone is the wrong type of person, you have every single right to go after that person by any vector possible, whether it's appropriate or not.
Who decides who's the wrong person?
That's exactly your argument here, John. That's exactly what your argument has been this entire time about Allison Rapp.
Then let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Was it right for Gamergate to go after Ben Kuchera for making a rape joke on a forum?
No, but I mean,
but why didn't you? Well, hold on. Why didn't you stop anyone at the time?
But you know what? You know what though, here, John? Mm-hmm. You supporting it in the case of Allison Rapp validate them doing it in whoever the victim you think is the wrong person's target.
And John,
you validate it.
Like, you're saying that, like, I didn't call them out for that, therefore I have no right to call you out for this now is bullshit too, because look, I pick and choose my battles, what I want to do. Am I a hypocrite for it? Maybe, sure. But
then why should I care if I'm a hypocrite by that logic?
So you're admitting you're a hypocrite?
No, I asked why should I care if I'm a hypocrite? If you're admitting to me that it's okay for you to be a hypocrite, why is it wrong for me to be a hypocrite by that reasoning?
Oh, I never said it was wrong for you to be a hypocrite. I just said you are one, John.
Yeah, he never said it was okay for him to be a hypocrite. He just said that he could be one.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, sure, fine. And like, this is the thing. I'm never gonna say I'm the best, most honest, perfect person on earth. In fact, I'm a pretty terrible fucking person a lot of the time, and I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fucking fine with that.
You're asking me if I'm fine with
somebody, that. Well, no. Somebody like yourself, you pride yourself on, like, I do things right, and I am ethical, and I am this, and I am that.
If I do something wrong by my standards, I own
you
up.
You look at yourself as an arbiter, John.
I'm not an arbiter.
Yeah, okay.
If I was an arbiter, so many people would be done at this point. And I'm clearly not an arbiter. I can only say what I believe and pontificate what I espouse to do. And if people disagree with that, then that's it. I mean,
you espouse your opinions as an arbiter, though.
And here's the thing, John. Those SJWs get to do the same thing. Yep. If you get to decide.
That's already the reality.
What's right.
Here's the thing.
What's right.
Yeah, which is why it's not bad.
You're agreeing with Smash Mouth politics. Don't complain when the other side does it, because you validated the tactic.
Can I really complain if I'm never going to work at getting a job because I called a popular black guy a house nigger? Could I honestly really complain about that?
Get a job before anyway. Let's be honest here.
No. This is like no hyperbole here. That definitely limits, especially since I just discovered that apparently some website published my name into some sort of article. People are going to look into that. People are going to see what I've done. People are going to see all the stupid shit I said. Do I honestly have any right to complain that if I go over to some journalistic outlet and they say, no, we'd rather not have you because you're a PR nightmare, is that really something that I can say, oh, this horrible rule of SJWs, et cetera, is that really something I can claim?
Well, no, we're not saying that, John, but it's going to suck like hell when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to really fucking chap your ass. You're going to really fucking hate that.
It doesn't happen. we're discussing whether validating those tactics by using them yourself is the wise thing to do.
Yeah,
Not necessarily the best, not necessarily the most ethical thing to do, but the wisest.
The disagreement that the thing that I think we disagree on is when it comes to morals and ethics and stuff like that. And for the record, I'm not an arbiter of ethics or whatever. People can make up their own minds. I'm not their parent. When it comes to this sort of thing, like, the best way I can put it is, I don't look at certain set of actions as being inherently wrong. I look at the consequences for most issues. Some exceptions to that would be like things that would compromise my trust. Like, I'm not going to lie about people because then people would call me a liar.
To John,
if
you've lied plenty of times.
Name
Well,
one lie.
lie. No, okay. Let me.
Well, as House said, everyone lies.
But it's not like bold-faced lies. You heavily stretch.
Okay. Just I don't lie.
Heavily stretch truth.
Yeah,
There's not much of a difference.
obfuscation and an omission are lies. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not a liar. I don't lie.
John,
obfuscation and
you
omission.
You reported directly that about the shit you wrote about Panda.
That's all accurate.
Is it?
There was a couple things that were inaccurate. I fixed them.
Yeah, but you reporting on them before, not knowing 100% whether that was true or not,
I
and
made
espousing it
Nobody's
as
perfect.
truth was
Nobody's
a lie.
perfect. Nobody's perfect, and I corrected those
John,
errors.
but you're far less than perfect. That's not the only time. That was just an easy fucking thing to point out.
Everything else was accurate, wasn't it?
Fucking, dude, if you go through, I'm not just talking about your pieces, but like the tweets and the stuff that I would fuck with you with. Like, half the time I would fuck with you is because you were doing that stretching the truth shit.
Like?
Fucking everything. Every goddamn argument ever. You've had some, my fucking, my brain.
Well, opinions are opinions. If I'm stating things which are not objectively not
but
true.
You don't really argue on, you argue your opinion as fact, John.
No, I don't. My opinion is not fact. If people think my opinion is fact just because I say things and don't explicitly say IMHO or something like that, then they're fucking morons. I shouldn't have to point out which statements are opinion, which ones are fact. That should just be apparent to the people reading.
But John, no. But you've linked yourself to your journalistic works, which have nothing to do with lies and opinion, right?
They don't have anything to. They're not lies. I do put opinions in my editorials, but they're not lies.
Mm-hmm. And they're of utmost sincerity, right? And that's linked directly on your profile, right? Therefore,
but opinion cannot be a lie.
Yeah.
If it's a lie, then point it out. If I got something wrong, I'll correct it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, John. But like your own ideology, a lot of the time defeats your own point. Shut the fuck up, you fat cunt.
Well, if you think my opinions are shit, just say my opinions are shit, and then just give me a better argument.
Well, they're not always shit, but for a lot of times they are. But the thing is, it's not just opinions either. You legitimately will argue against facts. I can't think of any direct, because, dude, you've done it so many times. Or you'll, like, obfuscate facts, or just look completely over complete lines of dialogues, or purposefully misconstrue what people are saying. That's your biggest one. That's the one where that's basically a lie. Purposefully misconstruing somebody's statement and trying to turn it around to make it look like they're saying something else. That is your calling card, John. That is what you do. That is the essence of John Kelly.
People do that to me all the time, dude.
Yeah, because you do it to fucking everyone else.
No, dude, they don't. They take things I say.
Fighting fire with fire. John, it's very easy to take things that you say.
Why is it okay for other people to have hypocritical standards, and then you go ahead and put all these standards on top of me, when I do my level best, and I'm telling you here, I do everything I can to make sure that I keep to the standards that I hold to. And then you say that, and then you say, oh, well, other people do it to you. Oh, well, that's fair game. That doesn't make sense. It's inherent contradiction.
Because you reap what you sow, John.
Then don't complain when I do it. If you're not going to complain when everyone else does it, don't complain that when...
Once again, that's a stupid argument. I can pick and choose my own battles as I choose to fucking say them.
Exactly. You're being selective in your targets.
Sure. I'm being selective in my targets, but...
you're criticizing me for being selective.
No, I'm criticizing you for something that I don't do. So I can criticize you for it.
Which is?
Purposefully taking people out of context.
Like? Give me an example. Any example.
Fucking let me look through the last 2 days of your tweets. I haven't even looked at them. Let's see.
Oh, I've got one for you. I can save you a little time. How
Okay,
about accusing Grey Knight of not only being a pedophile defender? You giggle all you want. It's
That
still
guy-
a question you have to answer. No. That guy, his flaws, as much. I don't care if he's the biggest asshole on the planet. It doesn't matter. You called him a pedophile defender, and he's not. And you called it and implied and outright stated he was a pedophile because he must be, because he's defending pedophiles.
And why is he getting upset that I'm calling him a pedophile?
I think people get pretty much upset when you call them things like pedophile or rapist.
Well, then he should stop taking the internet so seriously.
I'm sure. Yeah, well, I guess if you accuse me of burning down an orphanage, then that means I'm actually guilty of burning down an orphanage.
Well, then why is he rhetorical
That was an example.
and taking it so seriously?
Why did you do that?
Why would I?
And that's the there's your example, Beard.
When you have
there's
someone
your example,
going ahead,
I'll let
way,
you take it.
When you have someone who argues consistently in bad faith, every single time I've argued that
Mr. Kelly here accused a friend of mine of defending pedophiles, which is not true.
I watched the stream.
And number two, being a pedophile themselves. So there's your example, sir.
No, I saw the stream and I was laughing the whole time because I can't see how anybody could ever let John Kelly walk circles around them like that in a debate. But the whole thing is, you were purposefully misconstruing his arguments. What he was doing was
I made my
John,
argument.
Shut up and let me fucking finish.
I made my argument. I showed that he was wrong. I showed he was taking things out of context, and I showed that he was misrepresenting things. And I got him to concede that what he was saying was bullshit.
You
can criticize
basically
him for
hammered into that guy until he gave up, but
that
doesn't mean you proved him wrong. No, hammering somebody until they give up is not how debates are won, John.
That's actually exactly how they're won. They're won every single time by someone going ahead and getting the other person to crack.
No, that's some stupid fucking schoolyard debate bullshit. You want to talk about actual debates that have actual fucking impacts on society and stuff? No, it's the
then
people
if
who
this
have
is
the most.
just wait, hold on a minute. If this is not an impactful debate, why are you applying standards to that?
John, you're deflecting now to keep me from even getting to the point.
I don't see why I have to keep defending myself to you, especially since you're not consistent with your standards.
I don't have to be, John. That's a thing. You are very black and white. Just like I was saying about the left and right, the far left and the far right, it's very you are this or you are not. And it's not that thing. There are shades of gray in everything. Everybody has levels of interest in different things.
And why do you assume
just because,
why do you
nuance, John?
Why do you assume I lack nuance?
Because you do.
Why? Prove it.
That right there.
How is that proof? That doesn't prove anything. That's just you just saying that. It's argument as logical fallacies. That's you asserting your position instead of actually demonstrating your position.
I don't have to demonstrate my position when you.
Then I don't have to adhere to your accusations if you can't demonstrate them.
Oh God! Once again, it isn't a debate. It's a conversation.
All right.
And so, anyways, oh my God, dude. All right, so you purposefully misconstruing what I'm saying right now. Regardless,
it's not misconstrued.
Purposefully, yes, you run with it, and you go your own direction, and you throw your own fucking meaning on the words that other people say without allowing them to say what they want to say. You cut people off mid-sentence in an attempt to cut them off at an opportune moment to turn around and make that argument seem like it's something else than what they're arguing, i.e. exactly what I was fucking saying from the beginning, i.e. exactly what you were saying and doing with Grey Knight. He let you walk all over it with it. And by all means, sure, you won that debate because you made him look like a fool. But if you want to talk about a true debate and stuff, and not being a punt to one another just to win the debate, like actually talking about the issues instead of just being like, no, you're horrible and you're a fucking pedophile defender. He's not a pedophile defender, John. He was arguing on the side of somebody who may be a pedophile defender, and I wouldn't even stretch that far for her. I would say that she has ideals that maybe somebody could misconstrue as a pedophile defender, sure. And sure, she did kind of, I wouldn't say she came to the defense of that pedophile when she said, oh, that's gross. I think she just espoused her opinion that she thinks it's gross that he went to jail. There's no way defending him, for Christ's sakes. What is she going to do? Like, because her saying that, he got let out of fucking jail? Like, but the thing is, like, John, you can't misconstrue somebody standing up for somebody who stood up for somebody as standing up for the person that other person stood up for. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying.
No, there's no getting what I'm saying. That's
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Did you ever get into a debate with Grey Knight on anything, or an argument?
Yeah, actually.
And isn't he a complete asshole when he does it?
John, you're way worse than he is.
You see the problem there. If I lower my standard down to even close to his level, he'll just walk all over me. So basically, either I walk over him, or he walks over me.
So you are admitting to taking the tactic of purposefully misconstruing somebody's point to make them
No,
look
I'm not.
like
I never
something else
said
and being
that.
untruthful.
Or you can
That's
both
exactly
argue
what
on
you just did.
No, that's the thing. People do not want to argue honestly in debates on the internet. They don't.
So you don't argue honestly on debates because they don't want to? So you purposefully misconstrue their words?
A position that I believe in, but still come out on top.
Because you misconstrue people's words purposefully.
That's not the only way you do it.
So you do admit that you do it.
The art of debate is
So you do admit you do it.
Do what?
You just did.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
No, I didn't. I specifically said I don't do that.
John, okay. You do purposefully misconstrue. Like, okay, so you're saying because Allison Rapp, okay, and may have defended, very vaguely defended a pedophile at one point, and because you were debating on the anti-Allison Rapp side, and because the only other stance in that debate would have to be the
My stance was
shut the fuck up and let me finish. The only other side is for Allison Rapp in that debate. So therefore, because his base defense, the fact that he is on the side, the devil's advocate, or whatever, the advocate for, you know, her side, and advocate's kind of a bad word there, but you know what I mean. He represents that side in the argument, therefore he is guilty of what she is. That is completely misconstruing his point. All he was saying that entire time is exactly what I've been telling you. Yeah, sure, she wrote this, and in the deeper context when you read into it, the things that she wrote you misconstrued as well. And that's what his whole point near the end there when he was
Are you calling me a liar? Are you saying I lied in that article? Because before you were saying that there was no problem.
That's another vaguity, and that's the thing that you're actually kind of brilliant about when it comes to it. Is you?
It's not a vaguity. It's concrete.
You don't lie. No, it's not concrete. You're the most vague fucking person ever when it comes to it.
It's not vague. You're trying to make it vague to muddy the waters for no reason.
No, John.
You can make your point without calling me a liar.
You don't make direct salient points.
You can make your point without calling me a liar. Now, was your point that I hurt Grey Knight's fifis, or was your point that I'm a liar? Pick one.
It's the fact that it's vague. You're not exactly a liar, but you damn sure aren't truthful.
It was truthful.
No, John.
Nothing I said in that article was false.
Purposefully misconstruing the truth. I'm not talking about the article. I'm talking about the debate again. Once again, you're shifting.
Okay, so we're back to the debate.
You're moving gold. That's where we were the whole time.
Okay,
you're shifting
to that instead of trying to say something else.
Oh, then stop changing the subject, John.
All right, I'm in full agreement with you here.
You purposefully misconstrued his points. And called him, yes, you flat out called him a pedophile defender because his base in that argument was to be on the side of the person you were accusing of being a pedophile defender. It's the same as saying, oh, you think that we shouldn't go out in the street and murder every KKK person, therefore you are a racist. Or you don't like Black Lives Matter, therefore you are racist because you say all lives matter. John, it's the same fucking argument. It's the same tactic. It's the same bullshit. That's why people call you an SJW, because you use their tactics. You may not agree with their ideas.
Uses their tactics all the fucking time.
Yes, John, but not to the severe degree you do.
Severe
and you do
degree?
it. Yes.
What are you talking about?
Constantly. It's your modus operandi.
People in Gamergate have been saying burn gaming journalism from the ground. They've been saying to get rid of the people who work for these journalistic outlets, and they've been saying so over and over again. How is that any different from what I did?
You go out of your way to
They've
make
went out of their way as
stink.
well. They've been at this for 2 years.
John. No, John, not like you.
What do you mean not like me? They're even worse.
Notorious for a reason.
Okay, if you want to go with that logic, why is it okay for Gaming Pandas to call a man in black a sociopath because he constantly gets in arguments with him on Twitter?
Why is it okay for you to call Ollie a house nigger?
Why was it okay? Because he is a house nigger.
Okay, because he is a sociopath.
He's not a sociopath.
He's not a house nigger.
He is a house nigger.
He is a sociopath.
He's in with the establishment, and he's comfortable and cozy with there. But more importantly, he's not a lawyer.
But John, you see, are you seriously still not seeing what anybody is saying here? You're using the very tactics that I'm telling you you're using.
You're upset that I insult people.
I'm not even upset, and no, I would never be upset that you insult people. I'm like, if I was upset, it would be that you insult people's intelligence by trying to act like you're more intelligent than them and trying to make them look like an idiot. And in fact, most of the time, you end up doing it to yourself and then patting yourself on the back for making yourself look like an idiot.
Here's the thing. Most of the people that I've encountered with, all they want to do is make me out to be an idiot. And you're basically telling me that these people, you're telling, no, they've been doing this for a long-ass time before I started fighting back.
It's because you're a cow.
I don't care if you call me a cow or not. They've been
it doesn't matter. It's because
you're dodging the point here. They've been spreading lies and whisper campaigns ever since.
Oh, such a horrible thing, John. It's not like you've ever done that to anybody. Oh, wait, that's your fucking entire existence on Twitter, isn't it?
You can't even prove a single lie I've made.
Because as I've said before, John, they're not direct lies, John.
They're not lies at all. That's the problem.
No, you stretch the truth. You bend the truth in such a fucking abstract way that it no longer resembles truth at all. You can't directly call it a lie, but you stretch. That's you, John.
You can
and
say
that's why
me.
people fuck with you to make you look like an idiot.
They don't say whatever you like.
They don't try to make you look like an idiot, John. What they do is successfully make yourself look like an idiot.
You can claim
because
that.
you are an idiot.
What's they say so stupid?
Fucking 90% of anything you argue.
Yeah, you can't
the whole argument we've had, the entire argument we've had this entire time is fucking idiotic.
What your problem is that your argument has been debunked, and you're resulting to petty insults to have your way, and I'm not having it.
Really?
Yes, you're calling me a cow, you're calling me an idiot, you're calling me a liar.
You are a cow. You do. I'd never look. You're the one that keeps saying the word liars. I'm saying you stretch the truth to such a.
No, you went from you tell lies all the time to you stretch the truth.
That's because it's such a vague thing. It's the same fucking thing. There's very little difference to stretching the truth to such a degree that you do.
So you're looking for any angle or opportunity of attack because that's all you have. You can't admit that you're wrong in this instance.
It's because I'm not wrong, John, and you are an idiot.
Then prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Then nothing I say will in your mind prove you. But here's the thing.
Then prove to the rest of the world that I'm wrong.
Okay, look, how many people in this right here that are here and paying attention?
That's a consensus crack.
Actually, no. Well, that's what you just said. Prove to the world. Prove a consensus, motherfucker. You want a consensus? Okay, who here agrees with John in this argument? Who agrees with John in this argument? Anybody?
It doesn't matter who many people agree. They can agree with you. They can agree with me. That doesn't strengthen either of our positions. That's a consensus crack. Telling you to go ahead and prove to the challenge to you.
At the door, John.
It's not fallacy bullshit. Fallacy bullshit is misconstruing what I said. What I said was you.
Oh really? Oh, now you're mad that somebody's misconstruing your words. How odd. That's weird.
I haven't been able to demonstrate I misconstrue what people say.
Motherfucker, we have like 4 times.
You keep claiming that, but that's an assertion. It's not backed on evidence.
We've presented evidence. You reject reality and substitute your own.
You say that's perfectly acceptable for other people to do that all the time. You said in this conversation,
Sure.
it's okay for you to be a hypocrite. It's okay for everyone else in the world to be a hypocrite. But then you say, you are a hypocrite, you're a liar, you're a cow, etc. Or
And when did I
speak
say
the
it's
truth.
not okay for you to be a hypocrite, John? I'm just saying you are one.
Then
You're
you
the
have.
one
Then what's your
that
point?
that.
What's your point?
Do I have to have a point?
Why am I wasting my time with you?
No, I don't know. That's
So
a
you're
good
just
question to ask
basically
yourself.
you're making a disingenuous argument based on how I'm making disingenuous arguments in order to do what exactly?
I'm making an actual argument about
It's
how
not an argument.
we're making disingenuous arguments, but I'm just poking at you at the same time.
And
because-
I'm just poking at you right back.
John, no, you're failing horribly to poke at me if you're trying.
I've already succeeded. You've
Really?
already argued with me for an hour over this shit.
That really doesn't prove much. Like, because here, look, I've quote unquote argued with you for an hour.
Between
Made you look like an
the difference between me and you in this
solid
argument
hour.
is I don't say that arguments make you a bad person. You say that arguments make you foolish.
No, I said they make you look like a fool.
Well, they make you
And
look,
they make
equally
you look
foolish.
like an idiot.
By
And
that,
no,
by that reasoning, you're also a fool for arguing with me, for arguing with someone that you regard as an idiot consistently, which you repeat over and over again, instead of just dropping the conversation because of ad nausea.
And what's
Well,
wrong?
to be fair, beardmoe did try and change the subject earlier.
A lot of times he's tried to change the subject.
No, I mean, like, he actually said, I'm tired of talking about this, let's talk about something else.
Mm-hmm. And we did, and then he pulled it back to this eventually. Because
No,
once
it was
again,
just-
I insulted his ego, and he just couldn't have none of that because poor cowman just doesn't like it when people poke fun at him because he's not a cow.
A comedian
No, he's
doesn't have to
certainly
explain
not a cow.
A comedian doesn't have to explain the joke to your mom.
I think your mama's calling you.
And that was
Oh, it's
Batman.
Yeah, it's.
He was doing a unfunny sound effect. And before that was funny as well.
John,
Come on, dude. Banter.
oh, you're funny. That's what I'm saying. This is why I like fucking with you because you get so.
And I like fucking with you right back because you're my personal cow.
But John, you're not fucking with me.
But you're autistic.
Am I though?
You've admitted to it.
Have you ever heard of a thing called hyperbole?
You can be. Autists often say they're hyperbolic, yes.
Mm-hmm.
ADHD exists for a reason.
Okay. What does that have to do with autism and hyperbole?
You say that so seriously.
Okay. Then so you don't have a point there? All right.
There's no reason to be salty.
John, the only person that has been salty this entire time has been you. You realize
Why are you sounding more and more like you're trying to hold something back?
Because I'm laughing?
That's a nice deflection.
I can deflect all you want. Damn, that was a good one.
And that was for you.
Sure. Okay. Fine.
I don't see anything.
You say I'm a cow. Yet
You
I'm
are a
not
cow.
the one. I'm not the one with an actual cow thread.
What cow thread?
Dude, you've had a cow thread for months.
Link it.
Just go to Google and go to fucking 8chan and search your name.
Let me take a
You've
look
had
at
a cow
this.
thread for fucking ever.
That sounds like you had one before. Something you want to talk about? Yeah, I can't find a cow thread on me.
Oh no, is it not there anymore? Sure, there's one. I saw one. Oh no, yeah, it's definitely there. Yeah, here. You certainly have cow thread.
Ah. Well, my mistake.
And boy, it's a long one. Jesus Christ.
I want people arguing whether or not it's funny. Cow is shit. It's not that big a compliment, dude.
My shoop ended up in the thread. Nice. That's great. Oh, fuck.
All right. That's pretty funny.
Oh, shit. Actually, people posted in that thread as little as 2 weeks ago. Well, 2.5 weeks ago. Hey, dude, yeah.
You're really going places.
Well, no, it's whatever. I just... dude, I don't...
I successfully put John Kelly on Cow. You can put that on your grave.
I didn't put John Kelly on Cal, John. You put John Kelly on
Pretending you're not the OP. Okay.
That sounds like a conspiracy theory.
It could be a conspiracy theory. It could also be the truth.
Really, John?
Really. Like, you brag about putting people's cow threads on there. You're the only one who's this butthurt to actually do it. I mean, look at the OP. It's a personal armory request.
Okay, hold on. I have no idea who this guy is. What's your name? Fucking... Annihilator? Dude? Have I sounded remotely butthurt at all in this?
No, not really. Actually, you know me. I've been in GGP since you last were in there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's
I like how you have to get someone else's opinion in order to back up your point because you can't defend your own position.
You're the only one that thinks he's butthurt, dude.
So
exactly.
He's still
you
butthurt.
were literally the only person.
He's just very, very good at being...
I think that sounds like an opinion, which is subjective.
Well, if you want to debate a man green, he's in the other Skype group. You can go debate him over that.
Let's bring him in.
Oh, God, no. If you bring a man green here, I am out. No, I am not dealing with that autistic...
He hates me too, so I don't think he's...
Here's the thing. If Beardmoe's going ahead and trying to slap me around, it's fun. But when Man Green's in here, it's just like he rages like the first instance. It is so fucking pedantic.
John, shut the fuck up!
Yeah, that's a Man Green in a nutshell.
And John, you want to know what I'm doing and why I spent these hours here? Because one, it's...
I really don't care how much you don't care. It's really dumb. You've already said the tired line of, oh, I'm just doing this for the lulz over and over again. And you're going to complain that I'm interrupting you again, blah, 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 blah. Go ahead. Make your point.
Like one, I wanted to sit down and have a conversation with you to explain why I've always been the way... Well, not always, but why I've been the way I have been towards you since that...
Because you're fucked up in the head because of the war.
No, dude, I'm not that fucked up in the head because of the war. Like, I have issues with
You've threatened me multiple times on Twitter.com.
Oh, God, John. Empty threats, sure. All right, but...
Empty threats that got you banned from Twitter.com. Continue.
Okay. But... All right. I'm sitting here a little bit bored, having a nice conversation with these fellas. They decide,
I just came in here for fun, dude. Why do you have to go with a long-winded explanation? Just to say you're doing it for fun. If you're not doing it for the lulz, dude, if you're not doing it for the lulz,
there's also a bit of like...
If you're not doing it for the lulz, why are you doing it? There's no reason for a long-winded explanation. Just say you're doing it for fun or doing it for the lulz. It's okay.
Pretty much, yeah. But I was going to go a little deeper into that, the fact that I'm sitting here on my birthday, just having a good time.
It's your birthday?
Thought, what's a better gift
is
for
it
myself
your birthday?
than... Yeah.
It is? Oh, happy birthday, man. Seriously.
My birthday 4 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
But I just decided to, like, I was like, I haven't fucked with John in a while. If they're going to invite him in, sure. That'll be a nice birthday.
And I decided to come here to fuck with you. I don't see any problem with that.
But John, here's the thing, is, like, you're so bad at fucking with me.
Then why do you have to keep on defending your position that you're not being fucked with?
Not because it's just... it just drags you on. I'm not defending myself. I just continue to.
That laughter is awfully forced.
Here, let me posit this other question that might be able to answer this question a little better. Why do you keep positing that beardmoe is salty then?
Because it's funny.
So it's the serious, not serious game.
Like seriously.
I'm serious, but not serious. But I am serious.
Not at all, but I am. It's serious. I'm seriously not serious, man. Seriously.
Serious.
Serious.jpg.
What are you talking about? I just outright said it's for the lulz instead of being serious. That's beardmoe.
You have a hard time making up your mind on that.
Oh fuck, I'm dizzy. Oh fuck. Oh.
I didn't change my mind on it. I already
I
explained why I
can't
came
laugh
here.
anymore just because even when the stream was live, I've been like racked with laughter. I got a laugh hernia.
Dude, I just laughed so hard I almost passed out. What the
I
fuck?
can tell based on the monotoneness of your voice.
I gotta
Fuck
say,
you, man.
it's been both
Oh man,
fascinating.
I'm always monotone. You can't use that against me and saying that. Dude, I'm
Well,
the most monotone motherfucker ever. It's
Then
just
why are you
what it
claiming you're doing it for the lulz when you're clearly not having fun?
is. John, I'm monotone.
Do you not hear him laughing right now?
Oh my fucking god.
It was forced, like I said, he can't emote because he has no genuine emotions.
Oh my god. So I'm legitimately a sociopath now because my time in the
I didn't
army.
call you a sociopath, but if you want to wear that label, by all means, go ahead.
Dude, that's what the. Oh, are you shit?
I was
have no
confused.
emotions.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm sorry to interject, but I was confused a little earlier. Were you both talking about each being in the service? Were you?
No. John is never and never
I was
will.
not.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not claiming to be. I'm not Roguestar. I would not claim that. No. Not
Oh,
even joking.
I'm
That wouldn't be something I would joke about.
No, I don't
No,
know. I don't know your history, John. So I was asking.
All right.
I'm a
That's
combat
why I
veteran.
asked.
Actually, technically, I mean, if you want to use the right, I'm a wounded veteran, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah, well.
Back it up. The only time, look, if
The
I
only
ever.
time I'm mentioning it is because I know where you're coming from, but Gulf War One.
Yeah, no, I was in Missoula.
Recent.
I was in Missoula from 06 to 08.
Yeah.
But regardless, I fucking really loathed being in the military and the whole idea and everything I had to do. You know, I mean, there were some good parts about it and shit, but fuck it, man. Yeah. I think my biggest pet peeve are those people that just I was in the military, so you fucking respect me.
I don't do that shit either. Yeah. In fact, I'm a little embarrassed when people are like, "Whoa, thank you for your service." And I'm like,
I always tell them, "Fuck off."
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I didn't do this shit for you. It was a selfish fucking act to get myself out of homelessness. Just what the fuck ever.
Right.
It's stupid. Nobody goes into the fucking military for anything other than selfishness. Period.
Yeah.
There's something you're getting out of it.
Many times of desperation or wanting service or thinking about their future CV.
It's hard to understand when you talk over people.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, the only ones you could argue would be slightly different would be people that were drafted back in the day.
Yeah, draft is completely different, but
no, that's
people that join of their own volition are joining because of the benefits they gain from it. That's just bottom line. But regardless, the fucking military bullshit's whatever. That is so little of my life. I rarely even think about being a veteran. Yeah. It's not part of me anymore. Sure, it gave me it turned me into who I am, because I used to be a very weak bitch.
Someone who brags about
it becomes
someone who brags about making threads about people on 8chan.net.
The fuck, John?
Yeah, really, man.
You know, I actually want to ask, why do you insist on putting the .com and .net after everything?
I was going to ask that.
You can just say Twitter. You don't have to say Twitter.com.
Yeah, what is that?
What's that all about?
Because it's funny.
Oh, well, it's just confusing because I'm you're the only one that does that, so it's what the hell are you doing?
It's an old, not old, but it's just a thing people say. It's yeah, exactly. But no, it's like a colloquialism of sorts.
You're accenting it for ironic purposes.
Yeah, essentially. But fucking, I lost my train of thought. The moo fucking threw me off.
You're trying to change the subject, but I don't like talking about my military past either.
It's fucking, it's all, I had to do some terrible shit, but who cares? It didn't turn me into, that's the thing. It fucked me up in a lot of ways. It's the main reason I'm a hermit, is mainly not because I don't like people, as a lot of people tend to think, but it's more that I don't trust myself around people because I know that there's a chance that I can go a little overboard if people act in certain ways towards me. And so I purposefully hold myself back away from society. And that's just something that I've come to terms with on myself.
I've actually had relatives and friends, of my mother and stuff, that were of past conflicts too,
Mm.
like specifically Vietnam. They were of the same mind. I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, it happens to people who see combat. Not all of them, but it actually, the more they look into it, it's seeming like it's somewhere between a third and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, of people who see actual combat, you know, like actually get shot at and have to return fire, or actually have to kill people, that kind of shit. Regardless.
Didn't really have to do it sustained, like I said. Yeah, I guess it's the intro, but I got enough of a taste to last me forever.
Oh yeah, don't take much, man. I know this guy that was in our unit. He saw one bit of combat, but that one bit of combat was all it took. And he's the worst, most fucked up PTSD dude I know. And people are like, "Oh, that fucking pussy, you saw way more." It's like, fuck you, man. People take shit
you don't know how it's going to affect anybody, just like any other kind of trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, some dudes don't get fazed by it at all. Other people instantly get the 1,000-yard stare, and they're done.
No. Yeah, some of those people are like, the people who usually don't get that affected by it already have some form of sociopathic.
There's not much of a link there. Actually, if you know, there's it's more physical, actually, than you would believe.
Yeah.
It actually has to deal with the hippocampus, all right? So think of it this way. Your hippocampus is the part of the back of your brain that controls fight or flight. And so your fight or flight sense, when you're in a military setting, you have to go against that. You have to. It's just part of it.
That's what the training's for.
Yeah. And so when you go against your fight or flight, your hippocampus will actually swell to be from the size of a walnut, sometimes up to the size of a human fist, right? And therefore it will start secreting much more of those like hormones and endorphins and all those things that'll make you want to just like run or beat the shit out of something.
Right.
And so what happens is when some people come back, the brain will naturally shrink down, and that will go back down to be a normal size and start secreting the normal amount, and others will actually not. That's the biggest link to PTSD, actually, is the hippocampus.
Is there medicine that can help that, or is there really
not really? Yeah, no. There's not a lot
really
to
know
do
enough about
medicine.
I've been
unfortunately not yet.
I've been through the ringer. They don't really. Half the time
Actually,
they don't go, well, here, let's try this medication. Let's try that medication.
Honestly, though, funnily enough, for a lot of people, I wouldn't say a majority, somewhere probably around 30% of people I know with PTSD, the thing that works the best on the people who have real bad fight or flight issues is weed. And it's not that it does anything like chemically. It's more the fact that it slows your reaction time, and it gives you that ability to kind of like not let shit hit immediately, because fucking
it helps you decipher the situation.
PTSD is a very reactionary thing. Yeah. It's an immediate response. So when you slow down that immediate response, it allows you that brief instant to go, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't flip the fuck out.
Maybe
and that's why we do.
Like decipher the situation a little bit more, like a little bit more. Like, it helps you kind of, like, think about it a little bit more than, like, being an instinct.
Well, yeah, because it slows it down, so, yeah. So your upper brain functions can kind of, like, process it, I guess. I think that's where he was going with that. I don't know.
Okay.
But, yeah, we haven't really mapped out the brain in such a way, and we don't understand.
There's a long fucking way to go. They don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with this shit for 20 years, and they're like,
they know what the different parts of the brain do, but they don't know how to affect the different parts of the brain. If that was the case, we would have, like, the actual, like, what's that fucking stupid-ass movie where you take the pill that makes you a genius? You know, that would exist.
Oh, yeah.
The Limitless pill?
Yeah,
and there's these people walking around like we've unlocked all the secrets of the brain and shit. Those people are full of shit.
Well, you unlocked understanding it, but there's not like to understand a little bit more. But it's not like, I mean, people unlock cancer, but it's not like they have a cure for cancer per se. Anyways, they have what they can do, but that's just fucking.
Yeah,
I guess.
It's not perfect. Sometimes it's hit or miss or guesswork or. Yeah. Like I said, I've been dealing with.
Well, is there a program to test out that psyche? Before you guys go out, or is that just like basically?
Not really. No.
I mean,
not when I went in anyway.
Here's the thing, and technically they're supposed to debrief, and I think one of the main reasons I ended up fucked up and with PTSD, and like the debriefing does help, right? But
Yeah, the cool down period.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and it's kind of like a teaching you how to be a civilian again, because the thing that gets most people is, here's what happened to my unit, and this is why a lot of my unit was really fucked up, right? So we were a unit that was, well, we weren't created for the war, but our unit only exists in time of war, only for war. Actually, the unit I was in was a 2-7 Cav, which if you know anything about 2-7 Cav...
Yeah, I served in Cav. I served in the 11th and 3rd.
Okay, yeah. So 2-7s, we were soldiers, same guys.
Yeah, those guys, I know.
Yeah. Ghost Battalion. So our unit formed up, we went to war, we came back, and they disbanded. Because of that, they just didn't debrief us, because the unit was just disbanded. And so what happened is we went from being over there for 18 months, and we came back from everything you do. Everything you do is mandated. You don't make your own decisions in any way in war at all. There are no personal decisions. And so you come back, and now we're in a disbanded unit with no equipment to train on, no real upper echelon, like upper chain of command. Like we had nothing above a battalion level at that point. And so there was nothing to do. So what did we do? We got back from every day doing war, and then for the next 3 months straight before they finally reflagged the unit, we sat there, we'd show up for morning. For the first week we did PT. After that point the NCOs were like, fuck it. And we'd show up for morning formation, they'd count us, we'd be released to quarters, we'd go sit in our fucking rooms and do whatever, and then we'd come back at 1700 for final formation, they'd count us, and we'd be released for 3 fucking months. They didn't do anything. And they let these people just out in the world.
That's a mistake.
Dude, there was a dude that raped a 3-year-old girl. There was a fucking dude.
People do crazy. Yeah, you're just like a feral animal. Yeah. I spent about 2 months in the Disney barracks in Fort Knox, and the exact opposite of your experience. There's always shit to do. You're go here, go there. They did, the screenings and all that.
That's Knox.
All that
Knox is a very special base. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's actually where that wasn't even. So I was going to ship. Then I shipped out to Bliss after that. So, but it was like 2 months. They didn't let us. They didn't just. Oh, here, have some. We couldn't even start getting weekend passes until towards the end. And only in groups, I think the only way, because like the chaplain or the unit had a little retreat. I went and did that. So I wanted to get the fuck off of the base. So we went.
I'm totally religious. I'm doing this thing. It's like when I was in basic. Like I went to church in basic because it was getting the fuck away from the drill sergeants.
Yeah, hey, you do know the deal.
Oh yeah.
You get real religious real quick.
Yeah, like I love Jesus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's
I need me someone like Jesus, drill sergeant.
I used to tell them I was agnostic, so I could go to multiple different. I'm like, I don't know exactly what I am, so I'm trying to make up my mind, and I'm reaching out and trying to. So I would go to the fucking Jewish services and the fucking Christian services.
Yeah, so you got Saturday and Sunday covered.
Yeah.
That's cute. I didn't do that. I made the mistake of telling them I just put Episcopalian just because I shut up. No controversy. Try to keep a low profile. Even though the last time I was in an Episcopal church was when I was baptized.
Oh God, I was baptized in a Southern Baptist church.
Oh Lord.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
I was raised pretty irreligious family. So
they were praising Jesus with electric guitars and a drum kit while I was getting baptized.
Oh God, I can imagine that.